meet. I'm Gory B Movie, and tonight on Gory Talk, we're going to be talking about books, specifically all of the books we read last year, the horror books, the scariest books we read. So not necessarily 2025 releases, because books are different than movies. A book takes commitment. So it's not like movies where everyone has read all the top books. So hopefully we are able to introduce you to some that maybe you missed. And if you guys read anything great last year, whether it came out last year or not, let us know in the doobly-doo down below. And my guests today are none other than the We Are the Weirdos book club, Horrorhead Heather and Brandon. They are super rad. They read many, many good books. Brandon's a huge fan of Goosebumps. Heather just reads like a billion books a year. I don't even know how she has time to do anything else, but she does because she's amazing. So without further ado, here they are. Hi, guys.
Hello.
We got Half Cheetah will view in the chat. Orange Cats do indeed rule. Mine's watching the Super Bowl because Seattle. And we got For the Love of the Horror. Hey, nice to see you. Fiore Grimaldi, a little late to the party, but the underworld has brought me back. Yeah, this stream has been rescheduled like twice. And we were a little late getting started today, but we're here. Also, I'm doing something different with my lights. I kind of like it. Just all purple and then the string lights green. I'm thinking it looks pretty good. And we got cute sleeping dogs here. Everything's great, guys. So let's talk about books. I'm going to start by talking about what I'm reading right now, which came out last year. So that's why I'm going to mention it. Even though, oh, look how it fits perfectly right there. Oh, wow. Brilliant. So this is what I'm reading right now. Now, this book is a billion pages long. It's 896 pages long. Super crazy long. But well worth it. So I'm about halfway through. And so far, this is like epic level. Like you think of something like It that spans the character's entire lives. I mean, with that one, there's a big jump in between. But this one, it starts in the 80s. And right now I'm up to about the late 90s. It's really good. So good. So I highly recommend it. What it's about is there's this guy who goes to college with a group of his friends, and his job at the college is to take care of the rare books. And his mom is incarcerated. She was like protesting something, and then one of the guards there got shot, like he lost control of his gun, and so she put pressure on the wound, and then he died, and so she had to take the rap for it. So his mom's in jail, even though she's like a really sweet person. He has a car he calls the Christmobile because it's like covered in like Jesus stickers and stuff, you know, because she's a good person. She would never hurt anybody. So he's there, and this other lady, she's bad news. Like she's like something out of Orange is the New Black. Like she's doing drugs. She's got the whole prison wrapped around her finger, and her daughters are there. And then they find out about what he does at the college. And so basically they tell him that she knows like guards and everything. They'll have his mother knifed, you know, and killed, or make it to where she doesn't get her parole or anything, if he doesn't steal these books so they can sell them for a high price, including this really rare book that's bound in human skin. And he's kind of stuck. And then they look at this book bound in human skin, and it talks about how to summon King Sorrow, this giant dragon. And you can ask King Sorrow for just about anything if you word it perfectly, and he will take care of it for you. But then you are in his debt. And if you change your mind, like you want somebody killed, then you have to sacrifice somebody in your group of friends. And what they don't realize, because they pick these people, that King Sorrow will come every Easter now for the rest of their lives to ask who is going to be served up to him this year. It's so good. I've never seen a dragon used in a horror story and in a modern horror story. It's wild, guys. Wild. Hey, Fantastigorgle.
Hello.
All right. So what do you guys want to talk about next?
Ooh. Are we doing like our top fives, or like you can't hear me?
I can hear Heather.
Oh, I was like, oh no. Can everyone else hear me?
They should. Yeah, you're coming through on the stream. Yeah, I don't know. you could listen on the stream. Because I believe, can you guys in the chat hear Heather? Okay, let me know. Because I can hear Heather.
I was like, I can hear myself, but I can hear Brandon. So
Yeah. Okay. So what book would you like to talk about, Heather?
Ew. Well, so my goal for 2025 was to read 100 books, and I read 185.
Yeah, you
Which
killed
is
it last year.
actually, I was like, it was less than I read the year before. I tried to be
Mhm.
more intentional and slow down my reading. But since you were talking about Joe Hill, this was my magnum opus. I finally read
Yes.
it.
That's so cool. I
All
should have
1,000,
my
all
goal
1,100 pages of it.
I think my goal was 100 books and I read 120. So this year I want to read 122. So
Okay.
yeah. So crazy.
Yes,
But yeah.
I finally read it though. I was
Tell
so
us about it.
excited. I don't even know where to start. It was so good. 5 stars. Did I love every single page? No. It's a lot of
Brandon,
heavy
what are you
topics,
doing?
obviously. I don't know.
Uh
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, you're kind of freezing and stuff, and there's like still a weird noise from your like maybe your fan. Okay, well, best of luck. Don't smack the microphone. All right. If you want to, if you think it'll help, usually it just helps to be closer to your router. Okay. All right, Miss Heather, tell me all about it. So I've seen the miniseries and the 2 newer movies by Andy. I can't remember his last name.
Machete, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know it's something like that, but I couldn't remember exactly. I don't want to butcher. But yeah, so is it worth reading the book if you've seen all the movies?
yes. It is especially worth reading the book and then watching Welcome to Derry, because Welcome to Derry takes it from the book in all the interludes that Mike is writing in between all the chapters. So, in the book, it flips from the 50s to the 80s. And then in between, it's him writing letters.
Uh-oh, did you freeze?
And that's what Welcome to Derry is.
Oh,
So I
okay.
would highly recommend that.
Yeah, I haven't watched Welcome to Derry yet,
That's
but I've heard
weird.
it's
I was like,
really
oh, I
good.
see myself moving.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really good.
That's cool. I've
It's
heard really
really
good
good.
things. I was waiting till it got finished because I just want to watch it all together. But we usually watch
Mm-hmm.
something together during dinner time. So we each have a show. And like right now, my show's Dexter and Danny's picked Ranma. But after this season of Dexter, I probably will pick Welcome to Derry. So
Oh, Dexter's so
yeah.
good too.
I'm up on like my reading and I stay pretty good on top of movies, but TV is the one where a lot of times I'm kind of behind everybody.
That's all
So,
right. Yeah, this was my 3rd time trying to read this book. Like, it's so dense. It's so descriptive. There's just such heavy material in it.
mhm.
Just the themes of it. And I was just excited. It took me a whole month to read it because I read 40 pages a day in the month of August
Mhm.
and was able to finish it. So I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's so long. That's part of why I've never read it before is just the length of it. And
Mm-hmm.
like I've heard some weird stuff about like the ending and I'm like, I don't know. Like Danny was reading it. Danny was listening to the audiobook read by Steven Weber. And there's just like, where you catch like stuff out of context. I'm just like, wait, what? Stephen, like,
Yeah.
here's my problem with Stephen King. I love Stephen King. Do not get me wrong. I love him. But like his kid doesn't do this. He does weird random sex stuff. Like, and I know he's trying to, you should add random stuff because that's what makes your world real and adds color to it. But sometimes I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
what world do you live in? Like in The Long Walk, everyone's just constantly thinking about like, oh, the time somebody saw my penis when I was a kid and it was my friend. And it's just like, it's so random. And like
Mhm.
in it, I know one of the parts Danny was telling me about is like the two guys were like bullies. They were like, I saw his boner. It was the biggest boner I ever saw.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can hear myself. Dude,
Oh, I was like, hey.
Brandon. 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 All right, I'm muting Brandon. Okay, Brandon, I'm unmuting you. Brandon,
He's been snatched.
yeah, he needs to move closer to his router. Brandon, move closer to your router. You're on a laptop. Change your room. Because you're like all frozen. He's frozen. He's watched the ring tape is what he's done.
Oh no. Yeah, the ending of it, I was like, oh, the actual scene in the sewers when they're getting out that is so
Yeah.
infamous. I was like, is it really in here? Because it's really, really far in the book,
Uh-huh.
like over the 1,000-page mark. So I thought, oh, it's not in here. It's not that bad. And then it's like, it hits you in the face. I got jump scared with it. I was like, oh
Yeah,
no. It was gross.
I'm not a prude. I mean, you know I'm not a prude. Sometimes I'm just like, what is your thought process here? Like I can understand from what I understand, from what I've been told is they're getting lost in the tunnels and then it's Beverly's idea to have them come together, but like that's weird. And like describes the size of the kids' penises and stuff. Like Stephen King, my dude, why do
Yeah,
you have
these
to
are
like
11 and 12-year-olds. It's weird. I haven't
and I
read
think
his
it's good to
newer
be
work.
honest in your writing, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I
you
haven't
shouldn't
read his
shy away
newer
from
stuff.
sex.
So I'm hoping that the older stuff, it's because he was on drugs.
That's what I'm thinking. Like you shouldn't
And
shy away
I'll
from
give him a
sex
pass.
because, you know, be honest in your writing, but I don't feel like that's honest. It's like you're going into like a weird world where that's where the stuff that pulls me out of his books. You know, The Long Walk, I had the same thing where I'm just like, dude, what is your deal? His kid doesn't do it. I mean, like definitely put sex in there. Don't censor yourself. But maybe think twice if you're going to have all your characters run a train on your one female character, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad you liked it. I think I'm definitely going to give it a chance now because it's such a big commitment to like be
It is.
miserable. That would suck.
And your basic trigger warnings. It's terrible language.
Mhm.
There's a lot of hard in words in there because of Mike and his family
Yeah.
being black. There's a lot of, not so nice things thrown around about females and gay people, anybody that's different in the town. So,
Yeah, I mean that stuff makes sense, especially because it's set the kid part's set in the 50s, not like in the newer movies, right? So
right.
absolutely, you expect
Yeah.
racism, and yeah, definitely I'll check it out because I do love Stephen King. I mean, honestly, I haven't
Yeah.
ever read a book by him that I didn't like. I've liked everything he's done. So, Brandon, this is becoming just like a meme. We love you, Brandon. I feel like we're being haunted by like the ghost of Brandon.
I was like, he showed up, and I was like,
I
oh, I can
mean,
actually
he
see him
did.
this
Yeah.
time.
Ay, we'll make it work. We're going to make it work. Eventually, we'll talk to him. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab another one of my books. So, yeah, I was thinking, I mean, obviously, we're not going to talk about every single book we read, but the notable horror reads. It doesn't necessarily have to been released in 2025, but if it's a horror book that you want to talk about that you read last year. So, we'll talk about as many books as you want. It's not a horror book, but horrifying things happen in it. I mean, it's certainly weird. So I'm going to talk about The Inevitable Ruin.
Yeah.
This book is a trip. I love the Dungeon Carl books. And this one also, it's this teal book here, has since come out in hardback. But this is the 7th book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. All right, I'm muting you, Brandon, because I do not want to hear my terrible voice. All right, just take care of that. He'll figure it out. He's gonna figure it out. Anyway, so this one's really fun. It is crazy long, as you can tell by just the massiveness of it right here. It is crazy long. It's like 1,000 pages long. It was the first book I read in the year. But the world is getting so much more expanded. So I've seen a lot of people who've read like the first book and they're like, it's a lot of humor. It didn't really work for me. It's like a video game. That's really the first, kind of the second book. The second book's really, really short though. Then after that, the world really grows deeper as they go deeper into the levels and the characters are getting developed. And there's also a whole other layer where not only are they participating in this dungeon crawl, Carl's trying to break the system down. So there's a whole other layer to it. And yeah, like Donut, some people, if you didn't like Donut, like she's basically a toddler in the first book. And she's matured a lot and she's a lot more intelligent by the seventh book. She still has her donut moments, because she is very like hoity-toity and that's what we love about her. But it becomes very like there's a real core to it. So, because they're in like a war. It's intense. They're having friends die and stuff. They've experienced some crazy stuff. But then there's also just really fun, wacky stuff that happens too. So if you love that, yes, there still is some of that. I'm just saying you're getting more. So it's good and it's well worth a read. All right.
I've read the first one.
Yes. And you sound good. Doesn't he sound good?
He does. He sounds so good.
Oh my gosh.
And he looks good. I can see him.
Yeah,
Hello,
he's
friend.
he's not even blue anymore, dude. He was blue like that song. Remember?
Yeah.
How did you make that sound perfect? I'm blue, I'm a die. I'm a die. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so glad. We were like, okay, is he gonna make it here? But look at you. You're well lit. We can hear you. Like, dude, you had to glow up.
I can hear you good now.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Oh, here, let me double check something. Yep. So let me know in the chat if you guys can hear Heather and Brandon. Okay, so both of you guys say something.
Okay.
All right, you're good.
I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book, and loved it.
Yeah, so definitely continue on because like the first one's just kind of setting up the idea of this crawl, and it gets so. I mean, seriously, like I don't really cry a lot during books or movies, but especially in book 5. Book 5 is my favorite. The Butcher's Masquerade. Like that book had me like cry laughing.
Oh.
Like, cause it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But then there's another part where I was just like, oh my God, like poor Donna. I am so invested in her. Like, she's just like, Carl, I'm just so tired. And I'm just like, oh baby. And I love it. It's such a unique relationship. A guy and his ex-girlfriend's cat, like, and they are truly like the best of friends. I think if you are a fan of something like Project Hail Mary, like that relationship between Rocky and Grace, like that's Carl and Donut. Like they are ride or die. Like it's awesome. Is he gone again?
I know. I was like, oh no.
But he was doing so well. Okay. Can you hear everything now? Okay. Okay.
You're good. I was like, I can hear you now.
I can hear you. Hopefully everyone in the chat can hear you. If not, I will figure it out. Is what I will do. You're not coming through on the stream from what I can tell. But I can hear you in all right. Say something. Let me Yeah, they can't hear you. Let me see what I can figure out here. Here, I'm just gonna. Sorry. Okay. Give me just a second. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
It's
just give me a
figuring
second.
out what.
Okay. Yeah. So now say something, Brandon.
SpongeBob, can you turn off the light?
I think you should be coming through. Can't, and yeah, you can hear him okay, right? I think you're coming through. So what book would you like to talk about, Brandon? Something that horror that you read last year.
Okay, let me wrote my stuff down on a list somewhere. Sorry.
Okay, fantastic. Horrible can hear
him.
So good. They can hear him. So it looks like we got everything worked out. So that's good.
That's great. Oh gosh.
Let's
What
move
happened,
on.
guys?
Heather, mention what's that another book you wanted to talk about, and then we'll come back to him.
Well, I have a nonfiction one. I don't
Sure.
know if you read it or not, or listened to it.
I
think you
did. I actually have
The
a signed
Slayers.
copy.
Do you? Oh
Yes.
my gosh. So this one is based on a podcast. It's the Buffering podcast. And it's these two ladies. They had a relationship together. They ended up getting married. They started the podcast together with Buffy. And they ended up getting divorced and having miscarriage and all this stuff. But they still kept the podcast going. And it is amazing. They went through the entire series of Buffy from episode 1, 7 seasons, non-spoiler. Now they're going back and doing spoilers.
Yeah.
And they write
Once
original
more with
songs.
spoilers.
Yes, they
That's
write
what's
original
crazy about it.
songs.
Yeah.
It was so good. Highly recommend.
Yeah, let me go grab my book. I'll show you really quick.
I was like, it's got pictures in here of the cast. They do their prom.
Uh-oh.
They've had a prom like twice, a Buffy prom at the
Told you.
actual high school that it was filmed at. They have this baby that the magic sushi pajamas get sent to all the kids and everything. I love it. It was so good.
So I got mine, and it's got a book plate inside that's signed by both the ladies.
Aw, how fun.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like these days, a lot of sites online, like Barnes & Noble's one of them, you can, for the same price as just buying the book, get it signed. So it's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's when I also gave 5 stars to. It was just so cool. I mean, there's a lot of stigmas about, breakups and divorce and stuff. And the fact that they managed to stay friends and continue to be colleagues is so impressive. Like it's really hard to do. And they definitely had some hard times. Like I remember that one part where the one girl she's the one who asked for the divorce. She's also the first one who moved on, and she wanted her partner to come to their big event. And the other one's like, I'm not quite ready for that. And it's like, you could see both sides of it, but it's just like, they worked through it. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And the songs are so good. This is Brewster.
Yeah. Hey, Brewster.
Hey, hello. He would like time with his mom. Man. Right, you're on camera. You don't have any idea, do you? No. No, I'm sitting in my mom's lap. I'm happy. All right, Brandon, what would you like to talk about?
Well, I was looking for I got a list.
What did he do? Uh-oh.
What happened?
I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
I can hear him.
Oh, no, I unplugged. Brewster unplugged my headset.
I was like, what did I do?
Sorry. That was me. Okay, sorry. What book was it?
I was saying I wrote down a list of the best and worst books I read last year, and last year was a pretty it was a pretty weak reading slump for me. I didn't read a ton of new books, but I managed to read a little, but I didn't reach my goal that I wanted to. So
Did you get
my
close?
list of, I think I read maybe like 32 books last year in total. I wanted to reach, I think, like 60 something. But, you know, last year was just like it was a shit year.
I agree.
For a lot
I
of
am
reasons.
glad 2025 is over.
Me too, honestly. But I wanted to get back into the reading groove, so that's what I'm planning to do this year. And January started off really well. I did manage to read a lot of books in January. So,
Awesome.
do you want to start? Do you want to like start with my best or the worst books?
We're only talking about the horror books we read last year. So it doesn't matter if it came out last year or not, but long as it's horror or spooky adjacent, like Slayers is spooky adjacent. So long as it's somehow spooky, so.
Okay, I got a few fantasy books on here that were first time reads for me, so I won't mention those, but they're on my reading list. So, and they're on my best list. I mean, a couple of them are 5 stars. So, I will talk about one book that you actually, I think it was your mom, Mummy B Movie, that recommended last year.
Yeah, where is she? She's supposed to be here. What book was it?
Yeah. It was Rubbernecker.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about that.
It's been a while since I read this book, but I really, really liked it. I thought it was it was a really great book. And I really liked that it was told from the person who is on the spectrum. That's what really stood out to me.
I thought they did a really good job of that too, like not making him a stereotype or something. Like he was a well fleshed out character. What did you like about it?
I think I just like the story of it, to be honest. I just thought it was a really, really interesting book. I want to reread it because I want to read the sequel that came out like a short while ago because I know you've read it. So I think Heather read it too.
I did that because I wanted to get it for my mom, so I signed up for like an ARC. Shoot, what is it called? I did read it. It is a lot longer. Yeah, The Impossible Thing. So it's kind of a sequel. It's a sequel in that the bloke from the first book, Patrick, he's in it. So I would agree that it's a sequel, but most of the story is not about Patrick. So the part of it that's about Patrick is there's these rare eggs. You know how people spend like so much money for these Fabergé eggs. And it talks a lot about the process of how the eggs are stolen from the nest, even like the grieving parent birds and stuff. And how like a lot of poor people will do like insane cliff stunts and stuff to get these birds and eggs, and they're also attacked and stuff. And then they're sold to rich jerks. And it's all just, it's about like power and stuff. Well, there's these really rare ones, and Patrick's friend, he finds that he has them in like an attic or something, and he makes the mistake of like making trying to make a deal with somebody on eBay, and immediately it's taken off, and then his house is broken into and they're stolen. So in present day, him and his friend are trying to figure out who stole the eggs, but then it also goes back to when the eggs were originally caught by this really poor girl, and everything she went to. So like the two stories kind of come together. It's really good. It's not at all horror, but if you want a good epic historical mystery, I think it's good. It's well written. It's not really my thing, but I didn't like it as much as Rubbernecker.
Oh, there's Mommy B Movie.
Yeah, she's here. It's because we talked about her.
Manifested. Yep.
Say her name and she appears. Brandon knows what I'm talking about.
We believe
Yeah.
in Mommy B Movie.
Yes. Yep. You guys get it. Well, I'm really glad you liked that one. Yeah, I'm glad. Mommy B Movie, like she just discovers a lot of books that I've never heard about before, and usually they're amazing. One she just recommended to me that sounds really creepy, especially the audiobook, because she says the way the guy does the narration of this person. It's called The Third Parent. And she says essentially there's this being that comes into this family's house and it tells them what to do. And if they don't follow the rules, they pay for it. She said it's really scary. So that's definitely on my list.
Oh, yes. That sounds really compelling.
I also told Mommy B Movie because she was super excited that you're both here because she's big fans of both of you, of all my guests. You guys, well, Heather's her favorite. And she was like, I want to meet Brandon too. Like she wanted to see Brandon. So Mom, here's Brandon.
There he is.
There he is. I'm good.
Hi, Mommy.
Good timing too, because we had some audio issues, but now he's perfect. You would never know. So yeah, and I told her about your guys' book club. They have the We Are the Weirdos book club. They usually you guys do one stream a month, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
So yeah, definitely subscribe to their channel and check out their streams when they're live. How do people find out when you guys, like what you guys are reading and when your next stream is going to be?
That's a good question.
Well,
we're getting it together.
I just set up a book club, our book club, over on the Fable app.
Oh, very cool.
So if you want to, yes, and I think, Corey, are you on the Fable app or are you still on Goodreads? Because I know you're still on Goodreads. And
I am very loyal to Goodreads because I love the achievements and stuff, but I will check out Fable. I have tried to do Storygraph and it just wasn't for me. I'm very type A, so making me do all those little parameters will take me forever. And I have to have everything like, it just was too much for me. But I'll check out Fable. Do you like Fable more than Goodreads?
That's a good question. Heather, what do you think of? Like, what seriously is, what did you go first? Is what I'm asking.
I like Storygraph best. I like the graphs. I like the charts. And yeah, I imported everything from Goodreads to Storygraph. Fable is good as well. It just took me a while to figure out how to log everything.
Check that out. I like the idea of Storygraph, but it had a lot of my data from Goodreads wrong. But I think it's also because on Goodreads, I'm not very particular about how I log everything. And so then I was like, I have to like go and update every book I've ever read. And I was like, I don't know. I should try it again because
today I was trying to log where I finished a book and the server was messed up. It seems like Goodreads is always at capacity and you can't do this. You have to go out and load the app. They have a lot of problems. Storygraph and Fable, you can do quarter stars, half stars.
That I wish they had on there.
Yeah.
I do wish they had that.
Not that I do everything technical, but there's a difference between a 3 and a 3.5. Some things are solid 3s and some things are 3.25s. And is there any science behind it? No, but that's what I feel. In my heart, I measure things in quarter stars. So
sorry about that, Mommy. Yeah, last week and the week before we had to reschedule it, but we're here tonight. Oh shoot, it still has it pinned on here too. I didn't notice that. Whoops. Oh my goodness. My life, guys. It's today has been the day of like just technical stuff. All right, I'm going to remove that. There we go.
Such is life.
Is Mercury in retrograde?
Dude, probably. We got to look at my mother got me a witch's calendar that tells me all that stuff. I'm going to check after this and I'm going to message you.
It's soon. I know it's not a full moon. But I feel like Mercury's doing some stuff.
But even during just the waning moon, I feel like things get a bit dodgy.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a blood moon next month.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Very
I'm getting a
cool.
blue moon in May. There's 2
Yeah,
moons and full
I
moons
love
in
that.
May.
Sorry, Mommy, but you're here now, and that's all that matters. Okay,
Yeah.
so where are we? That was Brandon's book. So I guess we're back to me, right?
Did you do more than one, Brandon? I was like, I did It and Slayers.
Yeah.
Are
Brandon,
you caught up with
got
us?
another one you want to talk about?
Yeah. My second one is a book that I've read. Well, this is like a reread, but it's one that we read together on your channel, Gory.
Oh,
It was Pen Pal by
cool.
Dathan Auerbach.
Yes.
That book. Talk about that book.
Here's the thing, people. I rarely get scared by books. I rarely get scared by books. Movies are 50-50 chance that they'll scare me. Books are maybe like 60-30 chance that they'll scare me. This book scared me. This book was scary as hell. I'm trying, like, what I mean is, like, the way it's written in a Redditor style storytelling, and the stories are, they just feel so real. And the more real it feels, the scarier it feels. Especially the story with the actual pen pal and the balloon story. That's the one that got me the most. And oh my lord, I wanted to read more about this author, and I found out that he did actually write a second novel, which I want to read that book as well.
No, it's okay.
I was wondering if you guys have read that other book by this author. And what did you think about it?
Here, sorry, let me get my dogs out of here. Thanks, babe. It's called Bad Man. So Pen Pal was one that he originally posted on the No Sleep Reddit. So it was posted. That's kind of why it feels like each chapter is kind of self-contained. But that is, Pen Pal is one of the scariest books I've ever read. I wish they would make it into a movie, because that one, I think about it all the time. You read that book and you feel like you're being watched, and it feels so plausible. Like, it's just really frightening. So Bad Man, that one he traditionally published it, and it's like a murder mystery with not necessarily a murder is in it, but this guy, he's babysitting his kid brother, and he takes him to the grocery store, and his brother gets taken, and he has no idea what happened to him. It's a small town, so like, where the heck did he go? And now it's been a few years later, and I think he's working at the grocery store now, and he's trying to figure out what happened to his brother. No, it's actually many years later. That's right. It's many years later. He's trying to figure out what happened to his brother, and he's getting clues and stuff about it. But it's definitely kind of like a psychological mystery. But I did really like it. Not as much as Pen Pal, but it definitely is creepy.
Ugh, he worked at the same grocery store his brother got snatched at?
They were at the grocery store together. Actually, he works there like when he's an adult, because he's like a teenager. He's like 12 or something when his kid brother, who's tiny, gets kidnapped. And then it's many years later, and the whole town blames him, but there's no sign of him. It's like he just disappeared. There's no way for anyone to be like, where did he go? No one saw him leaving. So where did he go? And he still blames himself, and he's trying to figure it out. But Pen Pal, oh my gosh. Ugh, that's so scary. The one with boxes, the cat boxes.
Yeah, boxes, the cat.
Oh, that scares me so much. And the end of it, the idea of the end of it, like, here's the thing about Pen Pal, and I love Pen Pal, but seriously, Dathan, who I'm assuming is the narrator is never named, but I'm going to call him Dathan. Dude, leave that family alone. Like, you are bad news for that entire family. The poor girl, he becomes friends with this kid, and essentially the book, to summarize it, when he's a little kid, his school does one of those things where they attach like the school's address to a balloon and throw it out to get a pen pal. And he gets someone who becomes a stalker for his entire life, like stalking him at his house, everywhere. And it also kind of drags down the boy's best friend and the boy's entire family. It's really intense. It should be a movie. Wouldn't this be a great movie?
It would.
Yeah.
So scary. Like, I read this to Danny last year too, and it's scary. It makes me want to read. There's a book called Stolen Tongues. It's also from the No Sleep Reddit, and I've heard that if you like pen pal, you should read Stolen Tongues, and it's set in winter. So I'm gonna read that here real soon. Well, we haven't had much of a winter in Washington. I know winter has hit Heather hard, but like
It did.
it hasn't even snowed here, which is weird because we've gotten 12 feet of snow before. It's insane.
I've been trying to get my mom to read pen pal, but she's like, my mom's not really like a big reader, but I just feel like this is something that would really get into her skin if I wouldn't read it to her just to like give her like the chills because it's so good. Truly, I've seen criticisms, of course, of like how it's written, and it's very kind of like it's very distractingly how it's written. But that's what really kind of makes it like terrifying to me, because if it's written in a nice like clean fashion, like how the majority of books are published, it would lose that kind of like, oh my god, this feels like something that like a machine wrote, not like a person wrote, like a serial killer would write. You know, it's like the guy from the guy from Creep. I'm blanking his name.
Yes, Mark Duplass.
Yes. His character, like, if he wrote this book.
I agree.
And
I think
told these stories.
a lot of people have criticized it because there's a lot of typos in it and stuff, but essentially it's told from first person point of view of some guy telling this story of this man who, well, presumably a man, we never know, who stalked him his entire life. And it looks like something, it was originally posted on Reddit. So I think the spelling mistakes and stuff make it more real. I read Reddit a lot, and there's a lot of spelling mistakes on there. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it adds to the authenticity of it.
I agree.
Good pick. Hey, DJ Plays Favorites. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
All right.
DJ.
Now it's back to me, right?
Yep.
I'm just going to scroll through until I find one I want to talk about. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This one won the Oscar last year for best book. Ooh, this is a
We
good
Used to
book.
Live here. Oh no.
Yes, and
Poor
actually
movie.
the narrator of the audiobook is also the primary narrator of King Sorrow. Like, I started listening to King Sorrow, I'm like, why does this guy sound so familiar? Especially the way he does female voices. And I was like, horror movie. I know your voice, man. I know you. What's up, Paula? Paula's here now too. This book is really good.
Hey,
So
Paula.
what is up with all of the cursed movie? Like, when there's trends in books, it's just like movies. Like, you'll get like 5 books, the exact same thing. So we got How to Survive a Horror Movie. We got another one by Christina Henry. I read one by Craig DeLuey that I was like, eh. And so I was actually not super excited about this one just because I was like, I've read so many cursed tape books lately, and none of them were that great. Like Silver Nitrate was pretty good, but none of them were great. You know, it's just kind of a tired trope, and it's a trope that I feel like I haven't seen anyone do anything unique with it until this one. This one's good. So it definitely deserved best book of 2024 when it came out, but I read it last year, so yeah. Anyways, Paul Tremblay, who did Knock at the Cabin, aka Cabin at the End of the World. He also did, the Exorcism one. I think he writes good spooky books. But this book reads like it's a found footage movie, which is what makes it really compelling. You have this group of friends, and they make a really low budget, kind of shitty horror movie, but it's got a spooky idea. Again, kind of like how you would imagine a pen pal movie to be. You know, they're just really low budget. But essentially what the movie is about is this group of kids, they take this boy, they kidnap him, and they just like torture him like a lot, and to the point where he kind of stops fighting back and stuff. It's not like that original, but what they're doing is they're creating a monster out of him. So they torture him and torture him and torture him until he becomes kind of like a demon. And then this is the movie within a movie. And once he's a demon, they kind of use him to like kill their enemies. So think like if somebody made Carrie, you know, if somebody put Carrie in, they kidnap the kid, they keep him at the school, and they just find different ways to torture him. So like if you found somebody like Carrie White, who probably was already naturally supernatural, and you just poked at them and poked at them and poked at them, and then you set them loose on your high school. That's what this movie that they're making is. And it becomes a cursed movie because something happened and the movie never got finished. So it's one of those things that horror nerds in the world of this thing talk about all the time, like that cursed movie that never got finished. And it's weird because it's like super low budget, but it's notorious. Like everyone talks about it and all the myths behind it. And there's only one person who made the movie that is still alive and talking about it. And he does like conventions and stuff. And he played the thin kid, who's the kid who gets tortured. And there's all these rumors like he really got his finger cut off and like he wears a bandage. And so you're like, okay, what's going on here? What's real? What's not real? And what happened to everybody? And it goes from the past to the present. And then you're also getting pages of the actual script and it comes together beautifully. And it really does leave you with like this creepy feeling, like, you know, like like a lot of found footage movies where you feel like you watched something that could have happened. So it's good. Haley recommends. Gory B recommends. Okay, Heather, hit me with a book.
On my TBR list.
It's really good. We sent Paul Tremblay. So funny story. Paul Tremblay is actually a middle school teacher by day. I don't know why. Maybe he just loves kids.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I messaged him on Goodreads and he actually wrote me back. I'm like, you want your Oscar? He's like, sure, send it to my school. And we sent it to him.
Aw.
With like the blood and everything. So yeah, crazy.
I wonder if he has it hanging in this classroom. Like
That would be
Right.
rad. It's got the
that'd
little
be
bucket.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Heather, hit me with a book.
All right. So this is my obsession right now.
I saw you're reading these.
This is Crave. So Brandon picked this for our book club back in December, and I like fell in love with it.
Tell me everything.
you
What's it
look-
about?
Well, when you look at it,
It reminds me of
it's very-
Twilight, like the cover.
it's very Twilight.
You know I love Twilight. That is our
So-
state's treasure, Washington
I
State.
know. It's very Twilight like. It starts out very Twilight. Grace moves from San Diego, California to Anchorage, Alaska, just like Bella did, moving from Arizona to Forks, and how Bella is obsessed with the water and it rains all the time here. Grace is obsessed with the snow. It snows all the time there. And her parents died tragically in this car accident. She has to go live with her uncle and her cousin Macy in this private boarding school in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Alaska. And it's not a school for humans. Maybe there's paranormal things that are there. Maybe there's a love triangle. Maybe she's not completely human. But this is the first book in a 6-book series, and I ate it up. It's young adult, it's paranormal romance, and I loved it. So I'm on book 5.
That's awesome. So
Yeah,
there's spooky stuff like monsters and stuff. There's romance.
it is. It's a school full of monsters, basically.
Oh my gosh, I started really getting into Monster High, like not the dolls,
Yeah.
like the shows. So it's Monster High, but like for not little kids.
Yeah, they're high school, but yeah, I thought
school.
when we read it, it was very Twilight-like because you can tell that there's vampires there, but then come to find out it's not just vampires. There's gargoyles, there's
Oh my
dragons,
gosh!
there's werewolves, there's
Monster High
shapeshifters.
has that too, and they have gorgons. And
Yes.
okay, I have to read it. It's probably going to be my new favorite book series. Thank you. That's amazing. I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
know.
Okay,
They're
I am.
chunky. This one is like 500 pages and they get bigger, but it starts out as a romance, but it quickly goes into a fantasy. So you're going on quests and there's secrets and it's all kinds of stuff. And Macy the Witch is my favorite. And so far, she's made it out alive. And if something happens to her, I'm not going to be well.
What do
I
you
will
mean
not be
made it out
okay.
alive? Like, are they in
Yes.
trouble?
People are dying. Yes.
What? Why?
You have to read it. There's evil people. The villain's really good. It's a
Oh,
strong villain.
I have to read all these. Like, there's so many books I have to read. The Third Parent. There's like so many books I have to read, and I'm reading. I was doing really good this year, and I started reading.
Same.
I started reading the Testaments, and it's interesting, but I will say it's really dry. Like Handmaid's Tale, I read pretty quickly, and this is the sequel to that, and I'm like, oh, I got to get through this freaking book. And then King Sorrow is great. It's just really long, so it's just taking longer than usual.
The Testament movie, their TV show, is going to be a lot better than the book.
I think so. I'm liking it. It's just not as strong as The Handmaid's Tale. So.
It was okay. I read it last year too. I like The Handmaid's Tale better. The show is fantastic, especially the last season. Get through season 3 and 4.
I started watching it.
The last season, especially episode 9, the one before the finale, is one of the best episodes of television I've ever watched.
That's amazing. I'm going to have to watch it. We watched season 1 and it was just really heavy. And with the things going on in the country right now, I was like, I need a break. It's a little heavy for me, but I definitely am not giving up on it. I just needed to like take a breather.
Well, this is very light. This is fun.
Oh, Heather, like I feel like you're matchmaking me, and you're just like, these are all the things you like. Brandon is an angel, and I love your Dead Silent shirt. Loving it. Such a cool shirt. And I have posted in the chat a link to the We Are the Weirdos book club. So definitely check it out, subscribe. They don't really have a place right now where they're going to tell you what they're reading and stuff, but you can check out what they were reading and reply in the comments and join their conversation there. And they're working on the Fable thing for your guys' book club, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
we're trying to get better about planning ahead.
We're still we've been doing this for a year now, and we're still figuring this out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
there is controversy about this.
I'm trying to improve it. I swear. I promise. I'm going to improve our channel, and I'm going to get more people involved into our club.
Very good. I'd like to be involved.
Yeah, we would love you guys to come over on our channel at some point, just to be guests or be like regular guests or whatever. We'd love to have you guys.
Definitely, I'll talk to you guys after the show. I would love that. I would actually love that. But yeah, their channel's really good, and I've watched a few of them. Because of them, I read Black Sheep, and that's actually one of my favorites. I need to read more Rachel Harrison because I loved that book, and I did watch your guys' stream. And then I read the Goosebump books with you guys, and then I read I reread Hunger Games with you guys, and then I got behind. I didn't read When the Wolf Comes Home. I did read The Exorcist, but I read that for my own book club the same time as you, so I'm gonna say it counts. So I gotta read The Winter People and Crave, but I'm mostly a good book club member. Okay, Brandon, hit me with a book.
Okay. So we talked about Pen Pal Rubbernecker, and are we allowed to talk about middle grade books on this channel?
That's absolutely fine, long as it's spooky. And even Rubbernecker, I would say count because it has a supernatural element to it. Where they're kind of hearing somebody who's it's told partly from the point of view of someone who's in a coma. So I would say that counts. Okay.
So I read this middle grade book last year, and full disclosure, it's called This Appearing House. It's about a middle school girl, and one day she rides her bike to the end of the block and she finds an abandoned house. And it's like the exterior of it is a very stereotypical looking haunted house. It has like broken shutters, overgrown lawn, etc., etc. And then she realizes that she's the only one at first who can see this house because no one else can see it. And then her and some other neighborhood kids go inside this set house in an adventure, and they become trapped inside. And this house is basically like a labyrinth. The descriptions of it are what I would describe as the Goosebumps episode, The Haunted House King. Have you guys seen that episode? Or are you familiar with that short story?
I'm not familiar with that one. I'm familiar with Welcome to Dead House.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't
Okay,
read a
well-
lot of Goosebumps. Goosebumps came out when I was already like just starting high school, so I felt like I was like, and my basically, even though there's not a huge age gap between me and my brothers, anything they liked was for babies. So my brother Zigma is a year and a half younger than me, so all of his stuff immediately for babies. And my youngest brother is only 3 years younger than me, but he liked Goosebumps, so I was like, well, I'm not touching that because I read adult books like my mommy. And I was reading Fear Street, so I was just like, but I am.
I'm not like
I'm reading them
I'm not
now.
like all the other girls. I'm not like all the other girls.
I mean, I kind of was. I was a little shithead. So, kind of like every other teenage girl.
Well, okay, in summary, in that episode, these two kids also stumble inside a house that's abandoned, and they find a board game. This is in the episode. The short story is completely different because they're playing a game that consists of like stuff that's happening inside a haunted house. It's one of the 10 plus give yourself goosebumps, or like those short stories that Arlstein wrote.
Yeah.
The spin-off books. So,
I have read some of them to my
episode
son, so that's how I'm familiar with like Monster Blood. And I did watch the show. I loved the show. That doot 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 doot. It's good.
Yes, the show was how I got into Goosebumps. The books, actually. I watched the VHS tapes all the time.
That spooky freaking dog. Like, hold your bone, Cujo. That dog is the scariest freaking dog I've ever seen. You know which dog I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, going back to Disappearing House. I was like, no. I get like sidetracked because I have like all these different like connections to this other media and like how it connects to these books, and I just go on and on. But
I mean, last time Heather was on here, it was the same thing. Like I was following the track our Crazy Train was on. Hopefully the audience was too.
Literally yesterday when we did our episode on the Winter People, we spent like 45 minutes talking about the book, and then another like 45 minutes just like chatting with each other.
Yeah. I think that's fun. I think that makes it more fun. So this book so far kind of reminds me of a book I read recently. It's an older book though, from the 80s, The Thief of Always. Did you guys read that one?
Yes.
Is it kind of like that? Did you read this one too, Heather?
No, I haven't read this one.
Well,
I wrote it down. It sounds.
You know what else
interesting.
it's kind of making me think of is We Used to Live Here, because in We Used to Live Here, like the house changes, and that's what you're just saying happens in this book, right?
Yes, it's
that stuff
like the
freaks
house,
me out.
It's always like the rooms, like they always, no matter what room they enter, they can go into like upstairs, downstairs, but they always end up into into the same foyer, but it's different. And the house itself, there's like this creature that's chasing him throughout the house. It's like a combination of the Beldam from Coraline, and I haven't read the book yet, but the other mother from Other Mommy from
Incidents Around the House.
Incidents Around the House.
Yes,
That was getting a movie this year.
Well, it's like she has like these long arms and like these like she's covered in like these polka dots, and just like I was just like imagining this thing like chasing him through like these. She chases him through like these this corridor of mirrors, and there's a room where it's like this kid's teeth starts falling out of his mouth.
Oh no!
And the room just starts filling up with
I've had that dream.
It's a very it's a children's story, but that's what I love about like middle grade is they go to some really dark places. Some stuff I read in children's books go even deeper than what I read in some adult books. They go like these authors are not afraid to like take kids to like really dark and serious places. And I won't like spoil the ending of what this all means, but it's a very tragic story about what this girl is like, how this house ties into what this girl is going through in her personal life. But I would highly recommend it. I would give it like a 4-star. I would give it a 4-star read. But the only thing is, like, the writing got really repetitive at some points, and that's the only thing that turned it off for me. But other than that, the story is like a 4-star story. It was so good.
No, I really love middle grade books. I read like Coraline as an adult, and I think middle grade horror books do a really good job of tapping into those fears that we found when we were children, but still haunt us as adults. So like they still can get under your skin. One book that I would recommend to you, just because it is a middle grade book, but it's very well written, because it's by Paul Tremblay, who we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay.
But he made this book called Another, and not enough people have read it. But this is middle grade. So if you want a middle grade book by a tremendous horror author, this book is so freaky. This kid, it's during COVID, and so he's having to do like remote school and stuff, and he already had trouble making friends at school. And then his family invites this kid over to like stay there. And it was like a phone call to the house on the landline. And it's all very strange. And he's like, why is this kid living here? Why is the kid weird? The kid doesn't have a face. And then he starts to form a face. And then he ends up looking exactly like him. And he thinks the kid's some kind of like mushroom. It's really freaky, but it also has deeper layers and meaning to it. Like he doesn't talk down to his audience. He's writing just as scary as he does for adults, but it's just simpler. So I would recommend this if you like that.
I would love that. I think I added that to my list as well, because I was just like going through everything Paul Tremblay wrote and just like adding into my like my TBR, because like I have to read this, because I just loved like I think he wrote Cabin at the End of the World, and I want to read all of his books because I just like his writing style. But yeah, I love like middle grade fiction so much. More so than even young adult or even some adult fiction, if I have to be honest.
I've been revisiting a lot of books I loved as a kid. So I've been reading my favorite Fear Street books with the cheerleaders ones, and I've been reading them to Dan. The first one still holds up. It's so good. It's so good.
A middle grade I would recommend. I can't remember the author, but it's called Hide and Seeker.
Hide and Seeker.
It's a blue book, and there's a kid that's scared. I read it like 3 or 4 years ago. It's a tale about hide and seek. And there's an entity that plays hide and seek with the kids, and things happen. Yes, that's it. When you get caught.
Oh, that sounds scary. I'm gonna have to read that.
It's pretty creepy. Just playing with, just a simple game of hide and seek, but there's high stakes in this game.
Very cool. I'm glad we got some middle grade recommendations in here to mix it up. All right, so there's some books I really liked. Well, I mentioned Thief of Always. This one I read last year, but I don't really go into detail about it. I read a lot of, I mostly read horror books. I'm not going to tell you guys about every freaking book I read, but I did read this entire series. So at any point in time, I'm reading at least 3 books. So I'm listening to an audiobook. So like, and I'm reading a book on my Kindle usually. So like when I am doing my makeup, I'm listening to an audiobook, but when I have to blow dry my hair and I can't hear it, then I'll switch to my other book. I try to maximize anything I'm doing something else to also read. But I also read a book to Danny at night, and usually shorter ones. So middle grades are perfect for this. But we went down the rabbit hole of Ben Farthing. I read like a lot of his books last year. So I found Puppets Living in My Apartment Walls. Honestly, this was my favorite of all of them, where it is exactly what it sounds like. There are puppets living in the walls. His grandfather was part of some like Sesame Street show. And so it's got some like Lovecraftian elements of it. I also read, I found a circus tent in the woods behind my house. I found like a endless corridor in a mall. I found Christmas lights slithering down my street. I read all of them. And then I also read the 31st Trick-or-Treater, which was like an advent calendar where there was a different chapter for every day, which was cool because it was set last year too. But I mean, they're fun popcorn books. I don't have a whole lot to say about them. They're just like popcorn books. If you like things like anthology shows, like Goosebumps is a good one where it's just a good time. It's just fun. Then you would like these. They're short, sweet, snappy books. All right, hit me, Heather. No, not literally. But you're in Tennessee, so try it.
Give
Try
it your
it.
best shot.
A Dowry of Blood by S.T.
Oh,
Gibson.
I've been wanting to talk to you about this one because you recommended this one to me, and I have it on my TBR.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Tell us what it's about.
I love that cover better.
It is
than
pretty.
the other one. I need to get it on hard copy because I don't have a physical copy. I read it on my Kindle when it was on Kindle Unlimited. It's not there anymore. So what's up with that? It is a telling of Dracula. His name is never mentioned, but it is one of his brides. It's the first bride. So there's 3 of them, 2 girls and a guy. And it's pretty much talking about how they're in this toxic, abusive relationship and how he abuses his power. And the 3 of them rise up to defeat him because it's one of the most beautiful written books I've ever read. It's just so lyrical. It's very poetic. It's just so good. It's short. The audiobook, I think, is only like 5 hours long. But I've never read anything from the perspective like that. It's always through Dracula, which I didn't really like that classic. I wasn't a big fan of Salem's Lot. This one was really good.
Very cool. I did read a book called Dracul, which was written by like the great grandnephew of Bram Stoker, and that one's kind of told from like about 2 kids who have a governess who's associated with Dracula. So, but this sounds really good. Like I really want to check this out.
I forget
And it's
her
not that
name,
long.
but it's not. It's short. He finds her dying and he turns her, and it's just like he's always has this power over the 3 of them. Like he keeps them locked up at the house, and they are living for hundreds of years, but none of them know how what they are as vampires. Like they can't leave. They're just playthings to him. And they finally figure out like they don't even know how you kill vampires, and they are one. Like there's always it's a really good just power dynamic struggle and just toxic relationship. And the way she wrote it, it's so good. I loved
Sounds
it.
so good. I have to read that one. Brandon, hit me with a book.
Okay. So this might be the last one on my best list, and it is When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy.
A lot of people have told me that this book is good, so I'm curious to hear more about it. I have only read Rest Stop, and I did not like Rest Stop, but I'm going to give him another chance. I'm going to read this book because a lot of people say it's awesome. Probably wasn't
really
the best
is.
first Nat Cassidy book for me to read. So tell me about this one.
Well, I've only read Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. That's the first book that really made me like a fan of his. I really liked his storytelling style. And this is the second book I've read. I still need to read Mary and Rest Stop.
I have to hear
give
your
my full
thoughts on
thoughts.
that. Mummy is reading this one right now.
I promise I will read Rest
Because
Stop
Heather
at
read
some
it
point this year.
too. Which gives me faith, because Heather didn't like it either, but she did like this one, right?
Yep.
I probably would. I don't know. I might be like the outlier who actually likes Rest Stop.
That's
I don't know.
why I want you to read it, because maybe you can introduce me to a perspective of it that makes me hate it less.
I don't like it.
I probably won't, but sometimes people can, like, sometimes I know it's a cliche when people are like, you just didn't get it, but sometimes I don't get it. And if someone explains it to me, I'm like, okay, that's what they were trying to say. Okay, let me give it another read with that in mind.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that mindset. If someone tells you, oh, you just didn't get it, that's like to me, that sounds like saying, oh, I'm smarter because I got it and you didn't.
I don't think so, because I think sometimes books have complicated themes and stuff, and sometimes they're not that easy to suss out. And so somebody, like, for instance, Danny and I watched the movie Vicious. he figured out the themes of it and he got something from it that I didn't get. I was like not into it. But when he kind of explained why it appealed to him, like what themes resonated with him, I'm like, okay, I can see that. I still don't really like it, but I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Not like there's an
Yeah,
answer, but what it meant to you and why that is important. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. But
hey, the Seahawks won!
okay.
Woo! Washington, in your face, other states! Ow, 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 ow!
Understood.
So cool.
What was the score? Were they able to get more than field goals, or?
I don't know. Danny, get us the score.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Woo, woo, woo. Yes. So I mean, if you have Seahawks there, I mean, I don't know why you didn't have like sparkly vampires dancing on stage with him. Just saying, it is the treasure of Washington State. So
They did have Green Day at the halftime show, though.
that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. I do love Green Day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. So yeah, I keep going off on tangents. Tell me about when a wolf comes home. What's it about?
Well, this is a lot stranger than
Oh, can I ask you guys something really quick? You guys do both follow Mummy B Movie on Goodreads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's been lately working to like post reviews and stuff, and I don't know why they don't always show up in my feed. But if you see her review, just give her a little comment because she's like, nobody ever reads them. I'm like, I'm sure people are reading them. So, you know.
Okay.
She wants to have discussions with people. So.
Yeah. So this one was a lot stranger than Nestlings, in my opinion. It's basically, let's call it like a Grimm's fairy tale retelling of a werewolf story, and it's very hard to explain. I think Heather could explain it better than I could. But it's about this.
The first chapter heading was "All fathers are motherfuckers."
I mean, that's technically true. Technically true.
He wrote this for his dad.
That's nice of him.
Yeah. Yeah, Cassidy wrote the Nestlings for his mom too, or was it Mary for his mom, or Nestlings for his dad?
Nestlings was for his wife.
Who was Rust up for? No one, but
no one. I know.
Oh no.
Sorry. So what is this about?
Yeah. Well, this woman, like, she's working at a diner, and she hates her job. She wants to quit, and she just wants to, like, you know, I forgot like what exactly she wants to do, but she just does not like her job, so she plans to quit. So she wants to go home, and then her coworker tells her like, "Oh, if you clean the bathroom for me, and I will like cover for you, yada yada yada." And so she goes.
That is a trap. It's a trap. That bathroom's covered in fecal matter. Don't do it.
Vomit.
No, see, this is why I don't do that. That's a trap.
It gets worse.
See,
so she goes in the bathroom.
Gory B on it.
So she goes in the bathroom and she reaches around the toilet when she's cleaning it, and she feels a prick in her finger, and then finds out it's a hypodermic needle.
Oh, like in weapons, that shit, that will gross me out more than like anything. Oh,
because someone just came out of the bathroom. Someone came out of the restroom after using it, and then she's like figuring out, doing all this like math in her head about she has to get home and she has to call the hospital because she's freaking out, and then she finds like this kid comes up to her doorstep, and her like finds out this guy is like following this kid, and turns out this guy's a werewolf or something, and he just comes and like tears through all her neighbors, and they just go on this crazy ass road trip or they just get attacked by all these like things like, I don't know, Target mannequins and like cartoon characters come to life with saw blades for hands and all this shit. It's crazy.
Is
I
the kid
cannot
like one of those
explain
kids
it.
from the Twilight Zone? Is the kid doing it? Don't tell me, but is the kid doing it?
You have to read it.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. And you know what I'm not gonna
It's-
do? Clean the bathroom for anybody. I do it on my own. I choose the
I'll
bathrooms
already
I
do
clean.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
clean my
already
own
clean the
bathroom.
restrooms.
I'm just saying, if somebody asks you to do it, it's because it's gross. Guys, pearls of wisdom here.
Mhm.
All right? This lady's over 40. I know stuff. You can learn from me.
She's seen some shit.
I have literally seen
I've
some
seen
shit.
literal-
I have
I've
cleaned shit
literally-
off the wall. I used to work in a rest home, so I've seen some shit.
I literally seen shit too.
Mm-hmm.
All over the fucking toilets and the stalls. It's a massacre in there.
All right.
Yeah, Rest Stop was the worst Nat Cassidy book. Mary is really good. He wrote it for
that
his
one's
mom.
about like it's about like Elizabeth
It's
Bathory.
a little bit it's got the lady in the bathtub. It's the reverse of Carrie. So instead of somebody coming into powers when they hit puberty, it's about a lady coming into powers when she's going through menopause and what that looks like. And it's super
Interesting.
fun. And then Nestlings was it he wrote for his wife. He had a really bad year in 2021. His wife got some kind of illness where she was bedridden, and then COVID happened, and a couple of people that were close in his immediate family died. And he wrote Nestlings for her. It's a tale on motherhood. This girl had a baby, and during childbirth, something went wrong, and she ended up being paralyzed, and she's in a wheelchair. And so it's kind of like her dealing and coming to terms with her new reality and being a new mom. And they're living in a shitty situation. And then they happen to win a lottery and they get in really nice apartments. A little bit of Rosemary's Baby going on. Maybe, maybe not, you know. And then yeah, when the wolf comes home, he wrote it for his dad. So it's very themes about fathers in there. And then Rest Stop just sucks. So I don't know who that was for.
It kind of makes me think of like Nicholas
I don't know.
Sparks. I know a lot of his books were kind of written in mind for certain people. Like I remember A Walk to Remember was for his sister. So that's cool. I can dig it.
Yeah,
can
I was like,
dig it.
he had a flop, you know. Not they all can't be bangers, so I'm gonna let that one go.
Okay. I'm kind of going through which books I'm going to talk about. All right. There's a lot of books on here. I'm going to narrow it down though. Ugh. But I got to warn you about some books that are shit too. Yeah, I'm going to have to warn you about so maybe. Okay. So is it my turn?
Yes.
All right. Let me see.
Yes.
Where's the one that was like really bad? So I did read one book that I hated more than Rest Stop. I never give 1-star reviews. I might dislike something, but I like to think like I try to consider the fact that like if you guys are reading my reviews, like it should have value for you. So if it's something like it's just not for me, but I didn't care for it, I'm going to give it like 2 stars. But if it's not for me and I think it's badly written, 1 star. I never give a book 1 star. Gave this book 1 star because it sucked. I'm never giving his books a chance again. This book was so freaking awful. So I read another of his books and I don't like his writing style. He overwrites things a lot. He repeats himself a lot. You can tell that he thinks it sounds really poetic and stuff. And maybe it works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. This book is so tedious. Like every other line is at dark, I become loathsome. It sounds like it's written by like, one of those edgelord guys. Like remember the guy in Beastly who's got like all the stare stuff in his face? Like those kind of guys who take themselves way too seriously. It's like if one of those guys wrote a book. It is exhausting. And on top of that, Eric LaRocca, like I want to like him, okay? Because I'm a big LGBT supporter. He is an LGBT author. He's also, I think he's a Latin author. Like, I want to like this guy. I do. But even then, like even on the LGBT front, you think at least he would get that right. And honestly, parts of this are really kind of fucked up. Like the guy talks about how his son likes to wear dresses and stuff, and the character who's kind of gay, like they just make it seem like that there's something really wrong with the kid. And I'm like, Eric, like I feel like you should know better. Like, what are you putting out there, buddy? But oh my God, this book, it's mostly the writing style. And here's the other thing, like we should avoid cliches. Like authors should avoid cliches, obviously. But what is good about cliches is you tend to not notice them. You don't notice if someone says, like, it was as big as a house. You're not going to notice that. But if somebody says something very bizarre, I'm going to look at my review because I know I caught some of them in here. If they give you a bizarre analogy, so... Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong thing. So I'm also a Goodreads librarian. So that's, yeah, we're not going to change the information for this. We're going to look at my review. Okay, so yeah, he says the word beloved a lot. And this is like an edgelord type guy, which he does have a lot of tattoos and stuff on his face, but it just, the pretension is high here. But yeah, it says, dark I become loathsome like 5 times per page. It gets, and I listened to this on audiobook, so that got really tedious. And then there's another whole bunch of stuff where it's chat stuff. So he rereads the name of the person chatting every time. So he'll be like, Master Jinx 76 said, and she's like, I'm gonna freaking kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna reach through the audiobook and strangle you, sir. And like, here's the other thing in regards to the LGBT representation, because like I said, him being a gay man, I expect that part to be good. And he's talking about his bisexual protagonist. And at one point he says, and I quote, "What woman wouldn't want to be ravished by such a specimen of male beauty?" Like, I don't know, dude. Gay women? Asexual people? There's a lot of people who don't want to be ravished by somebody just because you consider him to be attractive. So, like, the
People
writing...
that don't go lonesome at dark? I don't know.
Oh, the writing. Oh, I could kill this man. I could seriously do it. This book, I'm trying to find a quote from it, but so the thing is, he'll have really strange analogies. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but like, say, like it was as wet as a ferret's snout, something weird like that, right? And then he will repeat that in 5 chapters, and you remember it because it was so fucking weird. So like, I don't know. He is not for me. Like, I have read 2 of his books. His short story book, one of them ones I read, something trees or whatever. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I gave that like 2 stars. This was torture, like true torture. I got it from NetGalley, so I felt obligated to finish it, or I would have DNF'd this fucker. You know, because you get it from NetGalley, like they gave it to you. The least you can do is provide the review. So, okay, here it is. Here's the thing. Torn apart like wet paper. He says that like 3 times in this book within chapters of each other, and it's just like, dude, like I don't think he's a very strong author. He also compares a lot of characters to dying insects or panting animals. Like, it's just, it seems like he's got a very small toolbox that he's working from, and I just don't think he's that strong of an author. And I don't know much about him. In fairness, maybe English is a second language or something. You know, a lot of people do like his writing. If the premise of his stuff sounds at all interesting to you, then I don't know. Check it out. I didn't even tell you what this book was about, did I?
Yeah. I could just told me.
I've never read from him.
I've read a short...
It doesn't sound like a book I would read.
He's written a lot of short story books. But remember how, if you guys watch my show, I talked about Strange Thing About the Johnsons, about a son who's sexually attracted to his dad. He read a story like that. Some of his short stories were okay. I actually didn't hate his it's Where the Trees Bleed or something like that. That wasn't terrible. It was like 2.5 star book. This was truly awful. It's like his wife died and then his son went missing, and then he becomes like, he's covered in tattoos and he's like a drug addict and stuff, and he's just like an edgelord now. Like, he's so bad. He cuts himself and all this stuff. Yeah. And then somebody, it's kind of like he steals kind of The Vanishing, where someone starts messaging him and they seem to know something, and it's really bad. It's not worth your time. Truly, I have not ever been this miserable reading a book ever. And I read fucking Playground by Aaron Beauregard, and I actually thought the writing was pretty good in that. And it did See, that's the thing. If the book does what the cover advertised, you can't be mad at that. Aaron Beauregard, he did Playground. He tells you it's extreme. So if you're upset that it's extreme and he's killing kids, that's what it's advertised. I'm not mad by the story being like, this is supposed to be splatterpunk too. I'm not mad about that. I'm mad by the quality of the writing and just how tedious it was. So it's a hard no for me, dog. A hard no. Heather, get me out of here.
Ugh. Are we doing bad books now to avoid?
Whatever book you want, long as it's spooky adjacent-ish.
That's funny. So yeah, my top 5 worst books. Number 3 was Rest Stop.
Why did you not like Rest Stop?
I didn't know
Run
what
Stop?
it was. I didn't know what it was doing. Like, it started out really strong. I thought it was going to be like a slasher at a gas station, and then he's stuck inside the bathroom, and I thought it was going to be like he's trying to escape. But then what the fuck were all these exotic animals coming from the ceiling?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was just going to be bugs and be scared, but then there's like a snake coming out, and then there's these weird spiders. I don't know.
He drove me crazy because he does the R.L. Stein thing, which, yes, and R.L. Stein doesn't do this in, like, even Fear Street. He does it in, like, the Goosebumps books. I've read a couple of them to my son.
Oh, where and then I went blind, but it's like, oh no, wait.
I just turned off the light. Like,
Yeah.
you asshole. There's a difference between the light suddenly going,
I hate that. I hate that in those books. I'm sorry to interrupt. I love Goosebumps, but I hate those cliffhanger endings so fucking much.
I don't mind as long as they're at least real.
Endings.
Oh, by the way, there's a YouTuber named John Wolfe, and he's revisiting Goosebumps as an adult, and his videos are really funny. Brandon, you have to check him out. I love his videos. I actually am learning a lot about the Goosebump books from watching his videos, so they're really good. But they also have Goosebump Bingo, and one of them is if it's a false cliffhanger ending where it's so scary, but it's really nothing, you get a bingo for that.
Oh yeah.
So, but for a book that's written for adults, I was like, come the fuck on. Like,
yeah, middle grade, you get a pass because you're getting kids into reading and
it works.
Kind of setting them up. It works. But yeah, this one, I honestly don't remember how it ended because my brain
ending was
checked
weird.
out.
Like the ending was just weird. It was really, I feel like he undid any goodwill he built up. It had a bullshit ending. I don't want to spoil in case anyone wants to read. I mean, I know Brandon's going to read it. It's only 160 pages. So
yeah, it's a novella. Yeah. I know. I was like, I was excited until we got in the bathroom because I was like, oh, it's going to be, how am I going to get out? There's a crazy person with a mask that's trying to murder people. And then we got exotic animals and different things and notes under the door. And I don't even remember how it ended, but I didn't like it.
Same.
I didn't like Cuckoo either. By
oh
Gretchen
my god,
Felton
that is
Martin.
my.
I know you read that one too.
I could not even finish Manhunt by Gretchen Felton Martin. I could not finish it.
Cuckoo is actually my most popular review on Goodreads, and I think it's because what I said in it probably resonates with a lot of people. I feel like she's trying to crib on Stephen King's territory. It's basically it, but at a gay conversion camp. But like she's like trying too hard. Like Stephen King, I think that's just like his brain that it's weirdly sexual. Like I don't know, it's just his brain. But I feel like she's trying to do it where like kids are making out in a bathroom and they have to talk about the pubes in the toilets and like why are there pubes everywhere? Who is leaving these pubes everywhere? I find a single pube and it's enough for me to shout down the hallway going, "Hey, who left the pube?" But no, this place pubes everywhere. Like that's weird. But like she even has like a Henry Bowers character, and then the characters are weirdly developed. So like one of the characters, so the first half is when they're kids and the second half is when they're adults. And one of the characters, they tell us they're trans, they transitioned. So that makes perfect sense. But then there's this new character, a new female character. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And they don't tell us it's one of the characters that was in the first part, like what their dead name is, until like, I don't know, like 75% of the book. I'm like, oh, that's who it is.
Yeah,
so
there's
annoyed.
too many characters for me.
Yeah.
If it would have just stopped at the first chapter, it would have been a 5 out of 5.
That first chapter is so good.
The first chapter, if it was just a short story or an anthology, it was great. She is like Manhunter
I didn't
and
read that.
Cuckoo. I know there's another one called Black Flame that's shorter. I might give her one more chance. I just think she's more into like splatterpunk,
A lot
and
of the
that's
splatterpunks
not.
are.
I don't. It's not for me. But this one, yeah. If it would have stopped at the first chapter, it was great. And where was the conversion? I was more interested in the camp, and it
Yeah,
was more focusing on like all the kids fucking each other in
yeah.
really weird places.
It was. It should have combined it with the horror of a conversion camp. A good gay conversion camp book
Camp
is that
Damascus.
Camp Damascus.
Yep.
Chuck,
Yep.
Yeah,
Freaking Tingle.
Tingle.
freaking Tingle. He is the man. Everything I've read by him, it's like chef's kiss. I need to read his newest book. But he's freaking amazing. I love you, Chuck
Yeah.
Tingle.
Camp Damascus, loved it. This, and
Yes.
I think I read that one, and then I read this one, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like that's a common thing. A lot of the reviews in that are the same, like really upset with the way it just kind of crid from. It just didn't feel original at all. It didn't feel like her own thing. It felt like she was trying to be a different author. So was not
Because it was
into
set
it.
in the 90s too, which I was really excited about. I love the
Yeah.
90s. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it because there's no cell phones, there's not social media, it's more isolating. And yeah, it
There's
was a
a book I want to recommend
disappointment.
to you. And he's really cool. I've actually met the author because he came up to Crypticon, and he's a really sweet guy. But this is one of the scariest books I've ever read. It's a great body horror, and it's set in the 90s.
Okay.
And like, it was so good. Like, I lived in the 90s, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Like, it was really good. But essentially, these group of friends have something horrible happen when they're kids, and they're all dead except for one of them. And so now she's an adult and she has children and lives in suburbia. And this reporter's actually tracked her down. Like, this is a notorious story. And he's tracked her down. He's like, I want to know what happened to your friends. And she's like, okay, sit down. You're going to hear the story. And it essentially is her and her friends. There's this creature that comes I don't want to tell you about it too much, but it can duplicate people and stuff, right? And get inside you. And it's very Lovecraftian. And it will find somebody, take them over, and then look like them. And it's for some reason going after her group of friends, and they don't know why. And it's really, really good. So I highly recommend this. And he's an indie author, so absolutely support indie authors who are fantastic. But he is incredible. I got to read more of his
Is it
stuff.
like a skinwalker?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it like a skinwalker, like on Supernatural?
It is a lot like a skinwalker, but a lot more body horror. So much body horror. Like, there's parts in this where it's like, ugh, but cool. You know, like when you see a nasty scab and you're like, oh, that's fucking gross, but cool.
Oh,
It brings out like that 12-year-old
Interesting.
in you where you're just like some gross stuff is
wanna
pretty
pick
cool.
it.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And I love it. And the 90s
And she's the
nostalgia.
lone survivor. Okay.
Yes. I pictured Shannon Sossaman in this, like it needs to be a movie. That's the main character because she's such a 90s icon. Brandon, or do you have another book on you want to like list some more that you hate? I'm
The
flexible.
other one was supplication, and I
What's
can't pronounce
supplication?
all. That's a good question. What is supplication, and who's it for? It has like a 2.9 or something on there.
Oy.
It's a fever dream.
So you were just like, hey, the bottom of the barrel. Why don't I scrape that?
it was for a book club. Yep, there it is. And Brandon,
I
know
didn't do this to
DNF'd
you.
it. No, you did not.
I
I know
DNF'd
Brandon tapped out, but I finished it, and it's like one of those where
It's only
the
216
sentences-
pages.
the sentences makes it feel like one whole page is one sentence. They're run on.
Those
it's a
are one-on
fever dream.
sentences.
Oh my gosh, it gave me a headache. If I didn't buy it, because that was the only way you could read it, there's no audiobook. and my eyes felt like that. They were bleeding
And they're bad sentences
out my
because I mean,
face.
there are some
They're
authors who can.
bad.
Cormac McCarthy's
It's
one,
what-
where Cormac McCarthy, I mean, he's won prizes. He will have a run-on sentence that takes up an entire page, but it's a good run-on
This
sentence.
one is like a
Yeah.
fever dream. Like, again, it starts out really well because you're getting the perspective from an unnamed narrator. It's a lady. She wakes up, she's in a basement, and there's a man there that has her tied up. And it's her trying to get out. And then she gets out, and it's like she's unreliable. And like I said, it's fever dreams. It just goes. It's really hard to describe.
Well, I think I'm going to pass on this one because Goodreads, I feel like they're overall, I mean, because there's no half stars. So I feel like on Goodreads to get below a 3-star, it means it's bad. And this is
It
a
is,
2.5.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to skip it. And also only 645 ratings. So even like all of their friends couldn't raise that rating. Yeah, I'm going to pass.
I think I gave it a 2, maybe.
Oof.
Or did I give it a 1?
That's
Did I
stiff,
give it a
brother.
1?
I'm going to look. I'm going to
I
look.
don't-
Brandon
don't give
DNF'd
many
it. You gave it a 1.
Yeah,
You
I
gave
did.
it
I
a
was
1.
like, I don't give many 1s because I feel
Me
like
neither.
that's probably because I finished it. I
But
gave
like
it a
that's
1.
the thing. You're kind of like me in that you think about, well, how much value does this have to other people? Even though I didn't enjoy it, is would like Brandon maybe like it. And that's what I think. And if I think that, then I'm like, okay, I'll give it 2 stars, even though it wasn't for me. You know, or 3 stars if it's just fine. But 1 star,
extremely offensive for no
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Or the actual book is not put together well.
where it's like a torture
I'm not
to
a
read it.
writer. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
a writer at all. You know, I struggle speaking. So, like, good for you.
But
You wrote
you
a
invested
book,
your time and
but-
you read it, and you have the right to have an opinion about it.
And I also unhauled it. So it's living at the free little library. Maybe someone else will enjoy it.
Oh my gosh, it's like a cursed book. Why would you do that? Brandon, do you have any books you want to talk about?
I do have a few. I have 3.
Yay!
I have 3 on my worst list and 1 more on my best list.
Yeah, I think
which
well,
one-
let's talk about books we really hated, and then we can talk about. I know Brandon's already kind of talked about his favorites of the year, but I think I'm gonna wrap up mine by talking about my favorites because I haven't really listed those yet. I was kind of going in order, and there's just too many books. And we're close to 2 hours. Are you guys still okay? If you guys got to go, I understand. Okay.
No, I'm
I
good.
think we're good.
Okay. Brandon, hit me.
So my 3 titles are probably, I don't know if they're like hot opinions or not.
Ooh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like rip the Band-Aid off on some of these, going in which ones were most or at least to worst offensive. The least one, number 3, is going to be Listen to Your Sister.
Really?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I thought it was so good.
I gave this book like a 2.5. I thought the story of it was really cool. I thought it was interesting.
original.
And it's original. It's different, but I didn't like the writing of it. I didn't like the pacing of it. I felt it was too slow near the middle, and I felt like it was dragging, and especially near the end, I was just like, okay, I'm kind of like burned. I'm getting kind of like coked out of this, and I was just like, I'm not as invested as I was, and like, I really wanted to be invested in this book, and I was like the first like 2/3, but like by the half from on the 3rd point onward, I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of losing it because of the pacing. It just feels a little too long for me, and so it's a good book. I just like thought the pacing was a little slow, so I gave it like a 2.5 or something.
This was one of my favorites, so I guess I'll talk about it a little bit. I really liked this book. I gave it 4.5, but I rounded it down to 4 because it's closer to a 4 than a 5. But I think I related to it because I have 2 brothers, and it's about a girl who has 2 younger brothers that she's kind of had to mother because their mom was just completely not there, and I didn't have to do that. You know, I didn't grow up the way she did, but having two brothers part that I related to. I think, you know, when you have younger siblings, you are protective of them. And what's really bizarre, and it's told from each of the siblings' point of view. So there's one that was like a baby when she was a little kid. And then there's one that's a little bit younger than her. And so the baby one is almost like her own son because she had to take care of him because her mom was just not available. Like she was like doing drugs and stuff. But it is really unique. And so at the beginning of it, they're running because these strange women are attacking her brothers. And so they go to this cabin in the woods and you're like, what the frick is going on? And the women look like the main character, the sister, at different points in her life. So you're like, what is going on? Is it doppelgangers or whatever? And it's really unique. I've never read a book quite like it. And I also think if you are somebody who likes books that have, I don't want to say like elevated horror, but like that kind of thing. Things like The Babadook, things like Get Out, where there is a big, strong underlying meaning to it. Like I think like the pressures on some kids who have to be adults really early on, like they either have to work or they have to raise their siblings and stuff, and what that does to somebody. And especially when it's your family, how you're not allowed to be resentful, but how do you come out of that and not be resentful? You know, how do you not be angry that your childhood was taken from you? So I like this one really touched my heart. I thought it was really good, but I totally understand you not liking it and stuff. Like I'm not like offended or nothing. I'm surprised because I thought it was so good and it was a debut novel. So, but it's only got a 3.13. So what were your thoughts on it since we all read this one?
I liked the first half when they got to the cabin. That's where I kind of checked out because I too am the oldest of three.
Yeah.
My middle brother is
Me
6
too.
years younger.
Well, now
I have two.
Yeah, I have two younger brothers. One is 6 years younger than I am, and the other one is 9 years younger than I am. But yeah, I liked it because I think she was like 25, 26. She had just graduated. She just got her first big job. The brother that was a little younger than her was in his early 20s. I think he was like a chef. They kind of had it
Yeah.
together. But the youngest one, there was a big age gap because he was still in high school.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of problems. Like, I think he was high as hell at school, and she ended up having to go, to the school, and he's smelling like weed and trying to sell it to people. And she is having to be on his ass all the time because she had to grow up. Like, she didn't have a childhood. She had to take on that mother role. And so I really liked that part, but then it went a little too sci-fi for me with the different ladies. I was like, what is it trying to say? That's where it lost me. But I thought it was written really well. I thought it was unique, and I am going to read from this author again. This particular
she's got
story
another
just
book.
didn't hit with me.
So I'm gonna give like a minor spoiler just because I do want to talk about like a little bit because it is so unique. But you find out that the ladies are her from different really important parts of her life. So like one of them's a little girl and like her father was physically abusive. And there are parts in her life where she had to essentially, she wasn't allowed to feel. She wasn't allowed to be a person because she had to be the sister. She had to basically be mom. It made me think of movies like TV shows like Party of Five or even Lilo and Stitch, how the older sister, she's got to put her life on hold now and be a mom, so, in that case, their parents were dead. But like one of them that was really sad to me is she really wants to go to this high school dance, like homecoming. And she thinks it's her mom who left her money. It was her brother, which I thought was really sweet. And she gets a cute dress and you're like, oh, good for you, girl. You get to go have fun. And then one of her brothers calls her up and he's being beaten up. And she, when it comes to protecting her siblings, like she goes ape shit. But like there are parts in her life where she had to basically stop living for herself and live for her brothers, and where she buried this resentment towards them that she won't let herself feel. And it branches off into these separate entities. And that's why they're attacking her brothers, because there is a part of her that is so mad that she couldn't go to a dance. She couldn't just look pretty for one freaking night and go to a dance like every other teenage girl. There's a part of her that wants to hit them, that wants to attack them, that feels like it's not fair. Like even the one who's very close to her age, he got to be a chef, and she won't let her feel that because they're her brothers and she loves them. She would die for them. And it's such an extreme thing that it breaks off into other people, which it's just wild. I never heard of that before.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I can
it was
understand
very
it.
unique.
It's not for everybody, obviously. It's only got a 3.13. But for me, I just thought, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon got so upset he left. So.
Oh my God, Brandon! Wow. Hi, Connie.
Oh yeah, Bunny.
Oh, whoop, I locked that. I was trying to see if there was other books that I hated, but I didn't
Hey,
read a
Connie.
lot that I hated.
Yeah, your book club picks were really good. I
That
feel
was one
like
of my
our
book club picks.
were, yeah. I
And
was
you
gonna say,
didn't
I
like
remember that one.
it. What do you say? You guys picked Black Sheep, and I thought that was great. If you guys want to talk about Black Sheep,
Ooh,
I thought that was a really good book.
I really liked it too.
Yeah,
If you guys don't want to talk about it, though, it's fine too.
No, I'm like, I don't want to give much away.
It's hard to
'cause
talk about this
once
one,
you-
but
Yeah, I
this
was like, it's
girl, like
essentially, yeah, this girl, she was in a
a
community
cult.
with her family, like a cult. And it's one of those, when you leave, you can't come back. But she gets an invitation for one of her cousins that she was very close with to come to the wedding.
To
And
her
so
former boyfriend.
yeah. And she
Mm.
goes back and chaos ensues.
Yeah. It's
It
really
wouldn't have
good. It
been
kind of made
me,
me think of like
but
Ready or
yeah.
Not and like the family dynamics. And I very
Yeah.
rarely remember lines from books, but there's a dig in the beginning of this because she works at a place. And the other thing too is her mom was like a famous scream queen. So and she looks
Yeah.
like her mom, but someone tells her like, you're not pretty enough to be that mean and you're really pretty. I was like, that
Pretty.
is such a great line. I love it. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. Like it was so different and unexpected. And I guess she's done like a werewolf book and she's done all of these things. I read her short story book, Bad Dolls, last
Yeah,
year.
it's like,
That was
I know
good too.
Brandon liked that one. I've read The Return,
I
which
loved her
is
werewolf
kind of
book.
like, I think that was her first one, The Return.
Yeah.
It was my least favorite. It's kind of like this girl group, or they're super close. One of the friends disappears in the woods, and a year later she comes back and she's not quite right. So it's kind of like a zombie / Wendigo Pet Cemetery type thing.
Which one should
Cackle
I
was
read
really
next?
Cackle was really good. It's a witchy book. It's very
Mhm.
cozy. There's lots of spiders in it, and the
I love
spiders are good.
spiders.
Yeah, I was gonna say the spiders are good. They're not mean. It's a good spider representation. What was the other one? Such Sharp Teeth was really good. I
The
know
werewolf
Brandon really
one.
liked that one
That
because
was
the
my
werewolf
favorite.
one.
That was my favorite.
Yeah?
The newest
I
one,
loved
Play
it.
Nice, I read. That one was a demonic haunted house, and it went over my head.
Yeah?
I
I
liked
haven't
the
read it.
writing. I liked the first half. It's 3 sisters. The banter was really good. She writes funny shit, but I didn't
Yeah.
really understand what it was trying to tell me.
Mhm.
But I'll read every one she puts out.
Yeah, she's really fun. I read only the one you guys recommended, and then I also read Bad Dolls. And this was just a fun short story collection. The doll one's a little bit longer than the other ones, but there was one in here about a bachelorette party, and I was just like, yeah. One of my friends was getting married, and like exactly, it was so funny because one of my friends was getting married. I couldn't make it to her bachelorette party, but I saw pictures of it. And as I'm reading this, like she goes there, and it's like her friend she was really close to, but they've grown out of touch, and they don't really have anything in common anymore. And the friend has a new best friend who's like a newer friend, and is really just trying to push her out. And she's like, I don't know if I want to be here. This fucking sucks. But like they get them all sashes like troublemaker and all this stuff. My friend did the exact same fucking thing. I'm like, oh my God, too real, too real. So, but yeah, hers didn't.
Oh, the vampire one. I haven't read that one. I was like, I knew there was
Oh
another one.
yeah.
Thirsty.
So Thirsty. Yeah, I haven't read that one yet.
But it was good because it was also kind of tying into like those friends you have, like Jennifer's Body calls it sandbox love, the friends you've had since you were a kid, how you're expected to do anything for these people, even though you've grown apart. And is it okay at a certain point to say, you know, what we had was awesome and that's not there anymore. We are different people. We are not friends. Is that okay? Or do you have an obligation? And that's kind of what the story was. And I thought it was really good.
She writes really good female friendships. All of her
Yeah.
books have
Yeah.
that, and I appreciate it, especially platonic ones. It's kind of like Grady Hendrix with My Best Friend's Exorcism. I
Yes.
love that. Sometimes you just want a good friendship book with no romance, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. All the things. Speaking of, I want to go pull it up. I've got like a billion tabs open now because that's my life. That's just the life I'm living. Don't judge me. Or do. I mean, you're your own people, guys. My favorite book of the year, and it did win the Goodreads for Best Heart. I got mine from Barnes and Noble with the signature in it. It's up there.
None of mine are signed. Okay,
Mine's up on the shelf
You can
somewhere.
get it. I am not better than you. I just get them from Barnes and Noble.
We don't have a Barnes and Noble here.
I don't either. You order them online.
Oh,
I am telling you.
I have no excuse then.
But if you don't want them, not everybody cares if they're signed. It's just people collect stuff, and when it's a book I really like, I'd like to get them signed. Anyway, this was probably one of my favorite books of last year. It is really heavy, so it's definitely one read when you're in
figuratively.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's about 400, almost 500 pages. This one's pretty heavy. I listened to the audiobook and then I read just the book along with it. It is cool because a lot of his books have like illustrations and stuff. And these girls who are sent away, so basically it's set in the 60s and these girls are pregnant and they're sent away to a place where they're supposed to have their babies in secret. And then the babies are taken away from them and given to couples. And it deals with just a lot of how these girls are treated. Like that's the most horrifying thing. But then they have like a bookmobile that comes and they get this book on how to be a groovy witch and they start doing spells and stuff. And it's kind of one of those almost like, be careful what you wish, but these girls have so much pain and anger. And what happens when you point that at somebody? And so on the one hand, you want these girls to get revenge. You want these girls to assert their rights because all their rights are taken away. Like absolutely everything. They have no control over what they eat, where they sleep, anything. They are not treated like humans at all. And they're all kind of like Handmaid's Tale, kind of blamed for it. Like one of the girls, she's like a baby. She's like 12 or 14.
Yeah, she's like
a baby.
Tiny. And she's
she's obviously pregnant because they're at this place to have it. And she was like essayed by her priest, and even her, they kind of make it seem like it's her fault. And then the worst part is the guy who essayed her wants to adopt the baby. Like it's so tragic how they are treated. And he read another book called the Ones We Sent Away, and that's where he learned a lot about this stuff. And I do want to read that, but after this I was like, okay, that was a lot, because they go into detail, like everything, like the way their exams go, like how impersonal everyone is, how they're just treated so terribly. And that, like I said, it's scarier than any of the supernatural stuff. But there's a lot of supernatural stuff in here too, and I do think it's really effective. And I think my favorite of his books is still How to Sell a Haunted House. I think just being somebody who's a single mom and stuff, that was a single mom, that one just hit me closer to where I live, and I have a brother, and those a lot of it was relatable for me. I wasn't alive in the 60s, and I didn't have this experience, but the fact that he is such a good writer that I feel like I knew these girls, I feel like I was there with them. That's how good he is.
I felt awful for them just because one of them was a person of color. She was Black, I think. So she had that added racism to her. And I think her and her boyfriend wanted to keep the baby, but her parents are like, no, because some of the girls really wanted to keep them. And then one of them does end up placing the baby up for adoption, and then they get reunited, which I loved that there was at least somebody had a happy ending. But
the epilogue showing what happened to the girls later, I thought was really sweet.
Yeah, there's a lot of birthing scenes that are very descriptive. Just them being pregnant. I was like, oh man.
In the South in summer. Oh,
In
dude.
summer, yeah.
I was
And it still
pregnant
made
in
'em
summer,
work.
but dude, I was not in the South. I was in Washington. So, and I was not in this place where there's no air conditioning. Like, and they're just, God, it's so rough. He writes women so well. Like, a lot of times I will
Yeah.
read a book and I'll be like, you know, there's certain stories that you kind of need a woman to tell. And this is one where I would have been like, oh, Grady. Like, he was my buddy and he was like, I'm going to write this. And I'd never read anything from before. I'm like, really? You really think that's your story to tell? But no, he did a fantastic job. I do know he was raised with a big family full of women. And I've read that the reason he writes female characters because he doesn't want to write himself in a fiction suit. And so writing women gives him some distance. But he does a phenomenal job. If all of his characters end up being female going forward, like, he's doing a fantastic job. Like, I'm a female and I'm like, yeah, who's telling him all of our secrets? Who is spilling? I think it's Heather. Heather is writing him. And I'm like, today I need to talk to you about all these things going on with my body. And he's like, all right, taking notes for the next book.
My favorite from him is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
That one's intense.
Just because the main character, Patricia, I just related to her personally because I do live in the South. It is set in the 90s, which I was a kid in the 90s. But she was a nurse and she had her career for a little while. And then after she had kids, she stayed at home with them and had a book club. And, you know, I'm also a nurse. And 5 years ago, before I had my daughter, I quit working. And so I'm a stay-at-home mom now until she starts kindergarten in a few years. So it was just interesting seeing it because all the men were like gaslighting, even though she was this educated woman.
Yeah.
And she's trying to tell them, you know, there's a predator in our midst and no one's believing
listening.
her. And then
and not even because they don't believe her, because it's inconvenient to believe her, because it'll ruin deals and stuff. It'll ruin their neighborhood. They're more concerned with appearances. This was so
she was such
good.
a strong character. And then especially when they went into the Black neighborhood and they had more children missing there. And there was just one line that was like, well, you know, when the kids here go missing, no one bats an eye. But if you guys have one person go missing, something probably would be done about that.
And
I was
that's
like,
still
really
true
sad,
now.
because it's true.
Like, even modern day, you know, when Gabby Petito went missing, the whole nation heard about it. And a lot of people were like, you know how many, you know, women of color have gone missing that are not in the news? Like, why? Why aren't we talking about them as well? Not that they shouldn't talk about Gabby Petito, but why aren't we talking about every human being that's a child that's gone missing that shouldn't happen? So, yeah, I have never been to the South, but I love the way he writes about the South. It makes me really want to visit. And yeah, I always picture like you in the South, because I always picture they all talk like you.
I was going to say, they, when they were talking about like condolence casseroles, because that's what we do. Someone dies, is we got to make them a casserole. And I'm like, oh, shit.
That's cool.
Everything is fried. Everything,
Yeah, he like gives that's one of the things I like about his books. And then also this one, like he said that the character you're talking about, Patricia, that she's based on his mom because she was a nurse and she was really tough and everything. So
I love that.
I think that's another thing too with I mean, just his books are so relatable with How to Sell a Haunted House. How she treats her mom, because her mom's kind of silly and I'm a pretty silly person and she's not. And like it made me think of like, what is my kid gonna think? Like when I pass away and he has all this garbage that he doesn't, because he doesn't get like the whole horror thing and stuff. And so, yeah. But yeah, as a woman, I feel like at least one of his books is going to hit home for you. Like he's just so good. Like he just gets it. It's crazy. My brother got me one.
He does
he's super too, in my opinion.
Yeah, you read My Best Friend's Exorcism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one you read?
Brandon.
I'm asking you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I read only two of his books. I read that one and my best friend's Exorcism.
Ah.
And I gave both 5 stars. He has become one of my like recent favorite authors because of those two books, and I want to read Wayward Girls as soon as possible. I own it. It's on my shelf.
None of us have
I
read
just
We Sold Our Souls. We should read that. And you know what I find so charming?
should.
Oh,
I
yeah?
need
Is
you
it
to
good?
read it.
What I find so charming about it is he wrote it, and I guess he said he wanted to pick the kind of music that he thought was least appreciated, which I would say is polka. But no, he went with like death, black metal, right? And to
Yes.
research for his book, I guess he went to tons of bars and tons of concerts, and he's like, they were just the nicest people. And now I listen to like death metal in my car sometimes, and I'm just like, I can't picture this. Like,
Yeah, that's something I didn't relate to because that's not the type of music I
Uh-huh.
listen to. So that one's one of the, because I don't know. I was like, I need someone that listens to that. But that was set in the 90s too.
Very
And like the
cool.
first couple of chapters, it's a protagonist. I think she's in her late 30s, early 40s. She works at a hotel. And you would appreciate that because there's a man that comes in drunk and he pulls out full dong and starts peeing in the lobby. And she's talking about his like floppy penis. And
That's
she's
crazy.
like, God, I hate my job. But she was in a rock band and all the members, they split up.
Uh-huh.
But one person is still on tour and makes a lot of money. And there's a reason why. And it's called We Sold Our Souls. But I was like, yeah, I need to reread it. Because there's a lot of stuff I didn't get just because I don't know that type of like not culture, but
is it heavy metal or is it like black? Because there's a difference. So the black metal is like the stuff from Norway. That stuff's extreme, and that's where it's like where you can't understand what they're saying. I like heavy metal, like Alice Cooper,
it
Guar.
would be heavy metal because
Okay, then I would know.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I can help. I don't know. I love him though. Anything he writes, I'm there. He's so good.
It's set in September, if so.
Ooh, maybe I'll read it in
It's a
September.
fallish book.
I have another book I want to talk about. So this is a pretty short one. It's only 202 pages, and this was really fun, especially if you're a fan of American Psycho, especially more the movie, because if you've read the book is like a whole other thing. Okay, the book is a lot of American Psycho. That's a lot, and yeah, it's a lot. But this, in the same way that American Psycho commented on the douchey yuppie culture of the 80s, how everyone's so into themselves that you wonder, is he killing people or are people so self-involved that they don't know what's happening? Which is it?
Uh-huh.
You know? Similar to also like Mayfly a little bit. Hey, Kevin, welcome, Haunted by Horror. And in this one, this girl's a governess and she's so sassy and it's her inner monologue. And she's like, you're like, I know you're a murderer, but you're so funny. I need to be your buddy. But it's another one of those things where who's crazier? Is it her society or her? She's a sociopath. She really has no problem killing anybody.
Don't let her babysit.
But the culture is bad too. And I will only give you one spoiler just because I feel like it encapsulates the whole book. But at one point, a baby is dead. And she doesn't give a flying fuck that the baby is dead. She's more like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't need this happening on my watch. What am I going to do? She gets rid of the baby.
Steal one.
She runs down to the poor section of town and just grabs one out of a cradle. The baby looks nothing like the baby. She puts it in the cradle and she's like, I'm never going to get away with this. This baby's like ruddy. It's dirty. It looks nothing like the baby. The mom just picks it up, has no idea.
They don't know.
So it's like one of those things. It's just like American Psycho where you're like, who's more crazy? But this one, unlike American Psycho, like, whoo, it goes out big, like the finale of a fireworks show. Like this one's really fun. And it's going to be a movie this year. So you gotta read it.
I'm excited.
Oh,
Yeah, that one,
yes.
I was like, oh, when the baby died, I was like, oh, that made me feel a type of way. But then it followed it up with she's just snatching a random baby. It was so funny. And all
Yeah,
that
like
talk.
I
It
was
fun.
sad, but then it was so funny. Like, how did you make this funny? It's really crazy. And the audiobook narrator, like, she's just so sassy. I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
I liked it too. I think I gave it a 4.
Yeah, that's what I gave it. You guys got another book? If not, I've got
do you
more
have another
books.
I was like, my
I got a
last
couple.
one, Private Hail Mary.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite book of all time.
probably reread it before I see it next month.
I love that book so much. I feel like that is like that and like Anna Green Gables are like the best books about friendship ever.
It's
Oh,
so
well,
scientific. I didn't know what was going on half the
Okay,
time,
me neither.
but I loved it. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, you
Like, it
go,
sounds
Rocky.
really smart. I mean, honestly,
felt
that's the
smart.
thing. Like, it kind of like Chuck Palahniuk, who wrote like Fight Club. He'll explain like how a bomb is made and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I have no idea if you're right,
I'm
but
like,
I
yeah.
believe you. You seem to know what you're talking about. And in this, but that's the thing. He doesn't like talk down to you. And so when I was reading it, I kind of pictured like Paul Rudd, because he's somebody who could be really smart and is good looking and stuff, but you're not intimidated by him. He seems like somebody who's like somebody that you would want to hang out with. And I think Ryan Gosling in the trailer is nailing it. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So good. And I recommend the audiobook just because there is
Yeah.
a character that's from another world. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you know that. And he speaks in like a musical language, and it translates really well. And plus Ray Porter reads it. If you guys aren't familiar with this one, do you want to tell them what it's about?
It's dealing with space. I was like, oh man. Yeah, it's Ryland Grace. He's a
Mhm.
sole survivor. Something is happening to the Earth. I don't know if the sun is burning out or something, but he wakes up and he's in this spaceship, and it's pretty much a one-way type thing. He's going to save the world pretty much. Um I liked how they were talking about like being in space. They had to kind of vet people because they go bonkers. It made me think of Armageddon with that one
Yeah.
guy that
Yeah.
was on the
Yeah.
rock, where he's
Uh-huh.
like, I had a good place. I wanted to see the Earth burn. But yeah, it's pretty much this astronaut. Everybody else on the spaceship dies, and he's alone. And he meets another person out there where their planet is having the same thing going on, and they're trying to find Rocky. They're trying to find a solution as well. So they team up, and it's really, really sweet.
I love it so much. And Andy would just take his talent for writing about these really smart people that you like. Like, you never feel like, oh, well, you know, they're just like people I can't relate to. Like, I cannot relate to understanding all this stuff. I never will be that smart. But I feel like these are people I get. Like, I understand them. And the fact that it's set in space, like, I initially didn't want to read this because I don't read stuff set in space because I guess my imagination is just not that good, right? I've never been in space. It's just too far removed for me. And this, like, I got it 100%. It's that good because it's about real human things. It's about friendship. It's about trying to prove yourself. It's about being afraid and unprepared for things and wanting to do the right thing, but also wondering if you are not up to the task. Because it's one thing to know about a lot of science stuff. It's another thing to be an astronaut, the mental fortitude you need to do that. And I think it's cool that he made this character who flat out says, I am afraid. I can't do this. I don't have what it takes. You know, like a lot of people wouldn't be able to say that. And he does. And then they make him do it anyway. Oh, it's so much.
Him and Rocky are so funny because Rocky eats differently. He sleeps differently. They sleep in shifts. I'll watch you sleep. And he's like, why?
Fist my bump.
It's my bump. Yes.
Excite. But yeah, I thought it was so cool the way he created that character, like the world building. It felt so real, like how Rocky is disgusted by seeing people eat because on his planet that's very private. And I can imagine them like, yeah, it's kind of gross. And then on their planet, they're completely vulnerable when they sleep. So like when you care about somebody, you're like, I sleep, you observe. Like you do that for people you care about because you don't want them to be vulnerable. Like, I love it so much. Rocky reminds me of my brother because my brother's an engineer like Rocky. And just like, you just hardworking and just like out there to do what you got to do. And you know, like that's how my brother would be. He'd be like, okay, well, this is what we got to do. And we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves and stuff. We just got to figure it out and just like coming up with creative solutions and stuff. So I think that's part of what I liked about it too.
Yeah. I would just pray that I didn't test positive, that I would be like, I hope I have that sleep sickness thing because I don't want to go to space, man.
Yeah. Oh, and
It wouldn't be me.
I
Earth would be fucked. I'd be like, well, you know, everybody have a great time.
I couldn't do it. I'm so claustrophobic. I couldn't do it.
Too.
But like, I love when he's like, on Earth, you look like something called the spider, which is like a scary little. And he's like, well, maybe I am scary little monster thing. To me, you look like a big oozy blob thing. So it's like, good for you, Rocky. Good for you. Love it. Their banter is just fantastic. It's so good. It feels so real. Like, I love it. Have you read it yet, Brandon?
Not yet, but I really, really want to.
You have to. Everyone I've introduced this to has given it 5 stars. My mom introduced it to my brother, who introduced it to me. Like, I don't know anybody who was not like loving this book. So seriously, this is like an easy home run.
Actually,
I have the audio book on my Audible too, Brandon.
Really quick. Speaking of like jumping off real quick, I picked up another book that you have been raving big about that you've been wanting me to get onto, a series you've been wanting me to get onto, Gory.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up a copy from Target, like,
what is it?
I think a couple weeks ago.
Yes! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Do you love it?
I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to soon.
When they talk about Wenatchee, that's where I live. It's in that book. It's a small town in Washington. I live there. Isn't that crazy? But it's just so good.
They have all the books almost all the books at Target. And I'm like, I wanted to get them all, but I'm restraining myself because I wanted to see if I actually liked the series first. So I'm starting with the first book.
The first one is really kind of setting up the world and stuff, but it gives you kind of an idea of his vibe and his sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And then the characters get a lot more developed through books 2 and 3. And then you feel ridiculous. Like I remember book 5, I'm like crying over this freaking talking cat. I'm like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why is this my life? And when you start it, you never think you're going to get there. But just like, I mean, it's good that you mentioned this because just like Project Hail Mary, it's like this great story of friendship. And it's such a cool thing. Like, you know, Grace and Rocky, it's a unique relationship. It's a man and an alien. And this, it's a man and his ex-girlfriend's cat. But their relationship is so much more powerful than a lot of relationships I've read in books. And it's just incredible. Like, they are ride or die forever. And everything, and yet he still makes it clear that it's a cat. Like one of them is like, cats don't swim, Carl. But she will do anything for him. She is his ride or die. Even though she's sassy and she'll put up a fight, like they have to, it's just like in a role-playing game, you have to get like you can put rings on any of these things, can give you extra hit points and stuff. And he wants her, because she doesn't have a lot of health points. He wants to help her out. So he gets her these nipple rings for every single one of her little cat nipples. And she's like, no, never. And he's like, but I care about you and I want you to be safe. And she's like, okay, they better return me. It's so good. And like
I'm probably gonna love it.
He doesn't even care. Like he'll get the tattoos and everything, and she's like, "You look like you're from the Jersey Shore. It's embarrassing being around you." And he hates that because he went in there without pants on, and he complains about it all the time. Well, the AI thinks it's hilarious. The more he complains, the more hilarious he is. So he gives him boxers that have like tons of extra bonus points to where he'd be a fool to put pants on over them. It's so good. So good. I cannot wait to hear what you think of it. Like, we're going to have to gossip like little girls over these books. I'm going to reread them all before the new one comes out. So maybe I'll read it with you.
I will definitely like try to binge read this series because I wanted to read Janelle's
Shikis.
Shikis, yeah. I promise, like, we're besties now on Instagram. Like,
she's
I talk
so
to her
nice.
on Instagram. She's in my inner circle now. I've invited her, and I like, you know how I send you guys like those reels on Instagram, just like random stuff. I do that. I do that to all my friends and family. I just like go through Instagram, and I invited her in. She's part of the circle now, and I'm gonna start sending her reels as well.
We should just have like a group on Instagram.
House. We should.
Yes.
We should invite her into our group.
Yes. She's going to be back on my show in March. She's really, and her books are great too. Like, I think they're right up your alley because they're short reads, but they're scary. Yes. They're for adults. She has a new book coming out in March, so that's cool.
I'm going to binge read all her books.
Me too. We should read them together. Buddy read. Buddy read.
Yes. I promise. Like, probably maybe next month. maybe I will try to get all her books because I want to get them autographed because like I
Yeah.
love her personality so much.
She
She's like
is
her,
sweet.
her and Grady Hendrix and Nat Cassidy and
You would love Andrew Van Way too. He's fantastic. Must see if I can get him on the show.
And right, and Rachel Harrison. Those are like my top tier favorite authors right now. And
if you guys missed it, I had her on the show and she's great. So go check out that stream where we talked about her book. She's just really cool.
I love that interview.
Oh, thank you.
Once I finish like this book, I think Matt Denham is going to be one of my favorite authors as well.
And I know him. He's been going to Crypticon for forever. So he was like an artist. And then he finally sold one of his art projects to IKEA. And then he was able to write full time. But this is the first year at Crypticon where he's going to be a guest. And they had to tell the guy who runs Crypticon, this horror convention, like he needs to be a guest. And they're like, really, Matt? Like, Matt's not a big deal. He's one of the vendors. Vendors have to pay to be there. And then they had to show him all these things he's done around the world and stuff. And he's like, oh, hey, Matt's a big deal. I guess Matt's going to be a guest.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping I usually get one interview a year, celebrity interview, where you're on the panel and in front of the room full of people and interview them. I am hoping I get this one. I will die. Like my push is, yes, we all love Matt. And yes, he's fantastic, but I've read all the books. So I hope I get it. Here's another one I don't recommend by Chuck Wendig. This one's just really, really tedious. It sounds cool. There's a staircase in the woods. What's that about? About 388 pages too long is what it's about. So it was just really boring. I listened to the audiobook and it's just, he's trying way too hard. I think I think horror is fantastic because you can blend myth and story. And so like Buffy, you can enjoy it as just a high school girl fights monsters, or you can say like, hey, that's a metaphor for like this aspect of growing up, like your first boyfriend, you're turning out to be a jerk. I think it's good when you don't have to necessarily get it to appreciate it. You can watch Get Out and it's fantastic, even if you don't know what he's trying to say about racism. You know what I'm saying? This, it's like he thinks we're idiots. Like every chapter, he has to tell you more about their backstory and more about why they're upset about this. Like one guy, he's constantly biting his nails to the nub and stuff. And then you get the same flashback and you're like, okay, dude, I get it. Like, I just feel like he over explains everything to the point where it's just terrible.
Oh.
Hey, can everyone say hi to Roman really quick? Hi, Roman.
Oh, hello, Roman. That's a fabulous name.
It is.
Hi, Roman.
But yeah, I thought this would be more like wild. What's at the top of the stairs? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be something I've never seen before. It's just a shitty haunted house book. So,
how old is your son, Roman? I have a Roman too. That's why I said that.
You have a Roman too?
Mm-hmm.
The only Roman I have is Roman Reigns. He's not even mine. He's like the world's.
My Roman, yes. His birthday is Friday. He is a Friday.
Oh, happy birthday to your Roman. Oh my God, that's amazing.
He'll be 10. He'll be double digits.
That's so cool.
My sister's birthday is this Wednesday.
That's awesome. Happy birthday to your sister.
A fellow Aquarius.
I'm glad. He's 8. Roman is 8.
Oh, 8.
I am glad my son's birthday is not until September because he just turned 21 in September and I'm not ready for him to be 22. I already feel really old. So no. 8 is fantastic.
My sister's going to be 20.
Yeah?
My sister's going to be 20, 23, and my brother's going to be 21 this year.
Wow.
I know.
Your brother's a little bit younger than my son. So old. I could tell you guys about the dinosaurs. It was fun. Anyway. I was gonna, because we're almost to like 3 hours now. Do you guys want me to speed run some books that I read? A lot of these books you guys have heard me talk about because you guys have watched my streams. So a lot of these I've done on my streams. So I'm just gonna speed run a few. House in the Cerulean Sea. If you guys haven't read this is like, to be honest, when someone tells me a book is cozy, I'm like, oh, so that's code for boring. Gotcha.
No. Bite your tongue, ma'am.
My son loves cozy mysteries, like old people mysteries.
Cozy.
I need bodies by the bucket full. And so I was reluctant to read this, but it's really great. There's like a house where these kids who are considered not safe to live in the world. Like one of them's the Antichrist. One's a pixie. Like they're sent to this house, and this guy is sent there, and he's very much like a single, has a cat, has no friends. His whole life is his job, and he follows the rules, and that's why they're sending him. And he's prepared to go there and assess if it is or is not safe for these children to be there, like if they're a danger to society. And yeah, it's a cozy thing. So naturally, he just falls in love with them. But it's really a great book about like embracing people who are different, embracing yourself, and different kinds of families. And it's got a great love story. 1,000 stars for it. I just love it. And I read the sequel too. And so there's a speed one. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about this. Did you guys read this?
Ah, not yet. I have it though.
I put this off.
I read it.
You read it?
Yeah.
I put it off because, like, when you tell me a book is set during COVID, I'm just like, yeah, I want to relive that. That sounds fun. That sucked. No, I actually ended up reading because those Goodreads achievements get me every time, and I had to read it to get one of the achievements. But I'm glad I did. It reminded me a bit of like The Grudge. So this girl, her sister, she like jumps or is pushed in front of a tube train, you know, like in the subway, and she sees like a lot of people are racist towards Asian people during the COVID time, calling them like bat eaters and stuff. And she's Asian, her sister's Asian. And then she starts working in cleanup crew. So basically when there's a murder or something, she's one of the people they call to clean up the mess afterwards. And she starts to realize that somebody's going after a lot of Asian women. And she thinks it might be connected to her sister, but there's also spookity dookity ghosts. So it ties it all together in a really fun way. And I would recommend this. Like I put it off, but the writing is good. The story is interesting. It's got a good mystery. 4 stars from me. All that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I read about that book and then I went on Google and was looking up her career because I was like, shit, I'm really good at cleaning and I don't have to talk to people. I could clean up crime scenes and you actually make pretty good money.
Yeah, I mean, you're not squeamish. Do it.
Yeah. Me
Kevin,
too.
I was like, do you have to go to school for that or like?
It didn't seem like she did. Kevin
I don't
says,
think
didn't
so.
we all write a book during the pandemic about the pandemic? I mean, I should have. Speaking of which, there's actually another book I read that's kind of about, it's based on, it's interesting because we're getting a lot of books that people wrote during the pandemic. This is another one. This was good. It could have been better, but the ending was, I didn't get the ending. I'm just going to say, like, I am too prude for the ending of this book. But beyond that, it was fantastic. But essentially, this girl, she dies in a house and she's forced to haunt it, but she is the house. She can turn on the taps. She can do anything in the house. And if you hurt the house, like you punch a hole in the wall, it actually physically hurts her. So she is...
Oh, it's kind of like Monster House.
Kind of, yeah. She is the house. But it's also like Cinderella, so she can't ever leave. But she finds that if she takes like the mat, like the doormat, she can go a little ways. And then the prince is going to be having like this big ball thing and she just wants to go. And so a lot of that's very Cinderella, but it's also got some creepy stuff in it and murder, a little bit darker. The ending, I don't know. So you guys know me. It was a little much for me. I was like, nope, no way. I'm kind of like, I'm happy for you, but no thanks, dude. Not for me. But if it's for you, yay. So yeah, I clutched my pearls. Let's put it that way. I was like, no. So, are there any you guys want to jump in and talk about, or do you want me to keep speed running?
Oh, you can go.
Did you guys? Oh, I want to talk about one that we all read. I know there is one. We all read The Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was good. I'm glad I finally read it. It's interesting because, William Peter Blatty, he won the Oscar for the screenplay, and it is pretty freaking close to the book. I mean, naturally, he wrote it. But there's some stuff in here that wasn't in there, and just the book it's really immersive and stuff, so I'm glad I read it. It was really creepy. I really liked it. What'd you guys think?
I really liked it. I gave it a 3. The first half was way too clinical.
Mm-hmm.
It
That's the
was
movie.
dragging. It was so slow paced. I don't know. I wanted more exorcism type stuff going on. Like I know it's The Exorcist, so it's focused on them. I was really disappointed. Like your mother sucks cocks in hell. Not in the book, just in the movie. I was waiting. It never
Oh,
happened.
Heather, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was good. I was just like, I don't know. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be.
What'd you think, Brandon?
I think I would agree with Heather. I wish there was a little bit more about a little more with Reagan because I found the stuff with Father Damien kind of like Um, I guess I just wanted more like a focus on Reagan because she was the star of the movie, and
Yeah. But even the movie's
it
about
was her.
Karis. It's not about her.
Mhm.
She is a vessel even
Yeah.
for a male demon. It's all about the men. And they're basically fighting for control of her body. The Christians want to save her, essentially. And then you have a demon who is trying to take her from within. And so, I mean, that's one of the criticisms of The Exorcist is it's a very male story that puts a girl like at the center of it, but she's helpless. She has no agency. But Father Karras, he's in a unique position in that he's got wavering faith. And if he can pull through, he could potentially save this innocent person.
I said Damien. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Omen.
No, his name is Damien. It's Damien Karras.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just like so. There's two like religious horror movies that came out around the same time with
And they
characters
have,
named
yeah.
Damien. Yeah.
But like the priest says in this, he's like, Damien, that's a beautiful name because there was a priest who lived on an island of people with leprosy. And he did eventually succumb to the disease, but a lot of people wouldn't do that. But yeah, he's struggling because like his mom's died and he's not sure. Like he's also very scientific too, which is interesting because a lot of religious people are not big, believers in science. And so it's kind of on his shoulders. Whereas you have Father Marin, who has a lot of faith, but his body is failing him. He's older. And so, yeah, I thought it was good. Here's the thing about The Exorcist, because I mean, you guys have seen the movie and it is very close to it. There are a couple scenes in the book that are not in the movie that I thought were really creepy and effective. But this book is really freaking funny. And I actually did a lot of research. I'm planning on doing a real versus real on this. So the backstory behind it is really good. So William Peter Blatty wrote comedy for a really long time. And when he told people he was going to write this, they were like, dude, stick to comedy. Don't do that. Like, you're not a horror writer. And it took him a really long time. Like, first he rented a beach house, and then he was distracted by the seagulls, and then something else happened, and then finally he lost his job, and then he rented a place where, like, Shirley MacLaine was, like, his neighbor, and he actually based Chris on her. And that's who he wanted for the movie. But yeah, he finally got it done. But it is really funny. There's good banter and stuff in here that I thought was fantastic. And it's a personal story to him because he is a Catholic boy, but he always wanted proof. And the whole idea of religion is that you have faith. And so he read this story about who this is based on. It was a boy who they believe was possessed. And he thought, well, then that's proof. Because if someone's possessed and there's a devil, then there has to be a God. And so this just really fascinated him and stuck with him for a really long time. And then he finally wrote it. And I think it's fantastic. But yeah, I love Kinderman. Kinderman's great. And Kinderman's also, he becomes the main character. He's the detective in this trying to figure out why people keep dying in this house. But Kinderman's the main character in Legion or Exorcist 3. So I need to read that one because I thought he was the best character.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
I recognize the importance of this book and the film in literature and like cinema. Personally, though, I think I would prefer like My Best Friend's Exorcism over this book.
I do love My Best Friend's Exorcism. And I think for a scarier book, the one by Paul Tremblay, what's that one called again?
A Head Full of Ghosts.
Head Full of Ghosts. That one really scared me. Like that, it wasn't super scary, but I think it is well written and it's really good. But this is, I think the reason it's not scary is we've seen 1,000 knockoffs of it, and like this is the OG. This is the one that started that.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. So I'll mention both of these because they kind of go together. Where'd it go? I read Bunny and We Love You, Bunny. I'm
Ooh.
really excited for the movie because what's challenging about this book is it's one of those books that's not going to explain everything to you, and it probably is a little more theory than story. However, the sequel, We Love You, Bunny, confirmed a lot of my thoughts about it. So I felt vindicated. Yeah, like I had my theories about what happened. And basically, We Love You, Bunny confirmed that. And this one did come out last year. I guess I'll talk more about We Love You, Bunny because I did a whole live stream on Bunny. So you can go check that out. But Bunny is essentially this woman's in an English program, which I was in an English program in college, and it was tedious, and everyone's very, very up their own asses. And for somebody who wanted to write about horror, having people constantly be like, well, that's not real writing and stuff, or it would be so much better if there wasn't a zombie, and you need to like poke your wound. And oh my God, if some more fucking person tells me to poke my wound, I'm going to fucking brain them. So like, I love the satire because she's really kind of shitting on the culture of the appearance of being deep that you find in academia, and you even find it in some book clubs, not your guys's and hopefully not mine, but people who they get into those things and they get so up their own asses. And so she's making fun of it, but she also has a cool horror story. So these girls, the bunnies are like a metaphor for like your art. So your painting, your video game you made, your book, whatever. And they create these bunnies, but they're fucked. The bunnies they create are fucked. And I think it's just kind of making a note on how some people just have natural talent, but I think it's because these girls are making art for the wrong reasons. So like theirs have like whiskers and stuff, and eventually they blow up. But they meet a girl, and spoiler for the ending, but the main girl doesn't realize that her best friend is a creation that she made. Her best friend's a swan, and she created that, and she's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I think it's just like when you see somebody who's made really great art and they're jealous. So they bring her into their slut salon because they want what she has. It kind of reminded me of The Craft. You know how in The Craft they realize that Sarah has a gift and they want to leech off of her. That's exactly what this is. And then the sequel / prequel, they've tied her up because she's written a book about her experience. And they're like, dude, that's not even fair. Like, you painted us all wrong, which no, she didn't. And the most of the book, though, is from the perspective of their creation. The first bunny they made actually is perfect. It's the ones they made afterwards. And they don't talk about that in the first one because he got away. And a lot of it's from his point of view and him exploring the world and stuff. And his just, can you imagine like a bunny who becomes a person, like what thoughts they have? Like, it's in here. It's a lot more horror in it. There's a lot of murder. It's so bizarre, but it's also really, really funny. Yeah. So it's definitely more horror, less theory stuff. So if that was a little too like academia stuff in the first one, this one's more overt with the horror and the humor. But I still think I don't know. I think I like bunnies slightly more just because as an English major who had to put up with that shit, like I was like, girl, I relate hard. But yeah, those were both really fun and quirky, and I cannot wait for the movie because it's also kind of a Frankenstein story. So like they create out of their own desire to create boys out of bunnies, like just from their will. And don't ask the book to explain that because it never freaking will. It's magical realism. Just go with it. But yeah, and they make them to be like they're perfect boys, and they have to like, be sensitive and sweet and stuff. But if you challenge them too much, they explode. So it's also just kind of funny. Anyway, I'm excited for the movie because these are when I read something where I'm like, yeah, I've actually never read anything like that before. Yeah, that was awesome. It's exciting for me, even though it is kind of a Frankenstein by way of Heather's, or I would say The Craft. It reminds me more of The Craft, but with a lot more humor. So I enjoyed these both. I know you guys didn't like them, but I did.
I was confused on Bunny. I gave it middle of the road. It was a 2.5 for me. I didn't know her friend was real. I thought she was an imaginary friend until you explained to me that no, she's a swan. So now that I know and have read it, I want to go back and reread it. I think I will get it a little more.
This is when I'm going to give you a hard recommendation to do the audiobook. Because usually I do a combination of both because I have ADD, and if I have a hard time focusing, I listen to the audiobook while I'm reading the book, and then my brain can't wander. So a lot of times I've kind of done both, and that's what I did with this. But there's one part in the book where Samantha's consciousness is taken over by the bunnies. Like she's almost drugged, and they become like the Borg, where it's we this, we that, and it's a little confusing. The audiobook makes it very, very clear because of the different voices for the different characters. So definitely recommend the audiobook. And the audiobook for the sequel was just hilarious. So high recommendation. But the poor guy, he's like, they make him read all these stupid books. They make him watch all their like stupid shows so that he can be like this. He like rebels. He hates them so much. He hates the bunnies. And he kind of goes on like this murder spree by accident because he's kind of programmed. When they made him, there's a teacher they really, really hate. So in his head, because it's instilled in his brain, he has to kill this person. So even if he hears that person's name, he'll kill them. He doesn't know why he's doing it, or why it's wrong, or anything. And he's just trying to live his life, and he finds things that he likes and people that he likes. And he's just, I don't know, even though he's a murderer, he's just pure. Like, you kind of have to read it. It's crazy. It's wild. Speed running a couple more. Oh yeah, I talked about Bunny. So good. That's 2 down. And I read Midnight Sun finally. It was fantastic. Oh, okay. It's going to be a TV show on Netflix. It's Twilight from Edward's point of view. Okay. There's a scene in this. So Edward can read minds, right? This is how I'm selling you on this book. This freaking 662-page book that I read in like one sitting. Because, oh my gosh, it's so good. There's a scene in this where Edward, who can read minds, they have to get through like this big like pile up of cars that are like all backed up. So he breaks the mirrors off the car, the rearview mirrors, so that the sports car they're in can squeeze through. And then he has no rearview mirror, so he puts his brothers, stick your head out so I can see. He uses the rearview mirror. I can't make this stuff up. It's so good. But I did like it just because it does have, it's more of an interesting story from his point of view, because he really, really cannot control himself around her. And it's so frustrating how close he is to wanting to eat her, that he honestly, especially in the beginning of it, he thinks it'd be so much better if she was just dead. Like he's like, if I kill her, how am I going to kill either everyone else in this room or get away quick enough before they do anything? Like, these are the things he thinks about. And he also does a whole bunch of other stuff so he doesn't think about killing her. Like, he'll start counting all the bugs he can hear and stuff. Like, he's insane. He's a serial killer. And I just love it. Honestly, it shares a lot with We Love You, Bunny. It's like a lovable serial killer, like Dexter, who sparkles. Love it. So happy for me. I read The Weight of Blood. It's a retelling of Carrie. I did a whole stream about it. It's really good. You should read it.
That one's fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, Kal-El, what's up? I'm speedrunning some books I read. But yeah, if you want a retelling of Carrie by Stephen King, especially with the new show coming out, like, this is a really good one to check out. It's kind of freaked me out that proms are still segregated in parts of the country. I did not know that. This is set somewhere in the South. And she goes
2014.
Yeah. And her prom is segregated, and they find out that she's mixed race, and they do a prank on her. So it's following a lot of the beats of Carrie, but from a different perspective. And I thought it was really good. I read Monstrilio. This was a lot of body horror and kind of gross, but also really, really sad. Like, make sure you're in a good place when you read this one. But this couple, their kid dies. I do like how it explores different ways that people grieve. Like, the husband is very natural, like he just cries, he does what you expect. But the mom thinks there's something wrong with her, like, because she's not grieving in that way. She's like a lot harder. But she takes a piece of her son's lung, which horrifies her husband. He's like, you've desecrated his body, but she just wants a piece from inside of him. And then it grows into this little monster that has like a tail and it hangs from stuff. This one also kind of reminded me of Bunny and like the weird little creation that they love anyway. Everything reminds me of Bunny. Everything's Bunny, guys. We are the bunny, we're Mister. But it was really good. It did take me a long time to read, despite being 336 pages, because it's really slow. but it is good. And I recommend it. I did the audiobook. Holy shit balls. Okay. I want to finish on this one. So I also read The Running Man. It's very different than the movie, but not the new movie. And I thought it was good. I recommend it. It's Stephen King as Richard Bachman. And I read The Long Walk. And I cannot talk about The Long Walk again. Like never again. I did a really long podcast of this. And then I did a really long podcast of the new movie. I highly recommend it. That's all I'm going to say about it. You guys know what it's about. Go read it. Not your mom.
I love the book, and I just got the movie on DVD. I cannot wait to watch it. I thought it was really good. I like the movie better just because I think the kids are so much more likable and it's more about their friendship and stuff. I really liked the movie better. Okay, we have to talk about Mate. This is the last one I'm going to talk about, and then we can talk whatever you guys want to talk about, or we can be done. I don't know. You guys have your own lives. I'm not keeping you here, but I have to talk to you guys about Nodding. I have to, because I have to talk about somebody with it, and you guys are my book friends. So here we go. So I read Bride, because it's one of those ones, you know, like where book talk makes something really popular, like The Fourth Wing and all that. Like the new thing with YA. So back in the early 2000s, YA, it was more about the tension of wanting to have a sexual relationship, but not. That's what Twilight, it's 4 freaking books before they do it. These books, nah, dog. We're like a quarter in and they are totally going at it. And then I found out what Nodding is. So in the first one, it's a vampire princess who's has to marry the alpha of a pack. And what Nodding is, can I tell them?
Yes.
Okay, it's a thing. So and dogs actually do this, it's really disturbing, but when they have sex, the bottom of their penis, dong, will balloon so that the female cannot escape. I don't think there's anything sexy or romantic about this. Apparently dogs get caught together all the time and people have to like come and remove them. But in the romance novel genre, like it's supposed to be really hot that they're just like, they can't move away from each other for 30 minutes. Like that sounds so boring. That sounds really awful, but also kind of fascinating. So this book's a lot different. So Serena is introduced Serena's kind of the objective of the first book. Her name's Serena. So in the first one, the vampire queen, she marries this guy because her best friend, who's a human, has gone missing, and she was raised in a unique way. So there's a werewolf society, a vampire society, and a human society. And to ensure that everybody plays by the rules and they don't hurt each other, they have their children live in a different district. So she was the princess of the vampire one. She was raised by the human district, and they gave her a little human friend in her cell. The idea was if the vampires did anything out of line, they would kill her. So that's how they make the vampires behave. And like there'd be a werewolf that would live in one of the other groups. So her friend, it's her closest person. Her person is missing. She wants to know what happened to her. And she has heard that the werewolves know what happened. So that's why she's marrying this guy, because she thinks it'll help. And she thinks this guy hates her. Obviously he doesn't. It's a romance. That part's dumb. But so yeah. Serena, at the end of that book, the one they do find her, and they find out she's a hybrid, which I know, guys. Vampire Diaries have made you hate hybrids because it's a really stupid concept. And every time someone says hybrid, you're like, that's really fucking stupid. And it is fucking stupid. But is it also fucking fun? A little bit. So this one takes a long time to get going, right? And then she's got her own Studley alpha that she lives with, and she thinks he hates her, but he doesn't. And it's really annoying. Here's the thing. She thinks she's dying. She thinks she has a disease. She got it diagnosed by some quack werewolf doctor. Guys, don't go to werewolf doctors. They have the worst doctors. Like, it's shitty. It's really bad. They're not good doctors. They'll misdiagnose you. Like, they're like the WebMD of doctors. You know how you put in, like, you have the sniffles and it's like, you've got cancer. Say goodbye to your loved ones. That's werewolf.
7 days.
That's werewolf doctors. So they tell her she's got this horrible disease because she's had all these problems that make her pass out. And she's like, I'm going to be so noble and not tell anybody. Right? Oh, she's not. I'm going to spoil it for you right the fuck now. She's in heat, guys. Yeah. Oh. She's in freaking heat. But here's the other thing. His pack, like, I guess if you're an alpha, of certain packs, like they really don't. Okay, for his particular pack, the other pack it doesn't apply with, but there is a history. And so he has vowed never to take a mate, because he needs to focus on the safety of his pack. He has made a promise. So he is technically married to her, but he's told like it's not a big deal. It's an arranged thing. Like he tells her all the time that he thinks she's hot, but he has no interest in having a relationship. They have a relationship. Anyway, but it's because he knows he can't, because he's already taken a promise to his pack. So that's everything. And there's nodding in it. And if you're into it, it's a lot. Like, okay, in this one, you have to wait a really long time for them to get busy. But once they do, that's like, the book just takes a break for like just a lot of that. So much.
Well,
So
she's in heat, so.
Yeah, she's in heat, guys. So what are your thoughts? Tell me.
I liked Bride.
I liked it too.
That was my first Allie Hazelwood book that I ever read. And they're like, oh, it's a paranormal romance. It's a vampire. And, you know, it's a marriage of convenience. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I've read a couple of werewolf books, and that seems to be a common thing with their anatomy is nodding.
I didn't even know about that before.
Yeah. It's in Ice Planet Barbarians as well.
Did you read the short one by her? Remember there was like the Scared Sexy books?
Yes.
That was good.
The Hot for Slayer?
Yeah. It's not showing up on her Goodreads, but Hot for Slayer was good.
That was the best one where the vampire slayer got amnesia and the vampire's like, well, I'm not going to tell him.
See, I would recommend her to people that like Rachel Harrison, because that's the best part of the books is just the witty banter, and she's freaking funny. Like, it's supposed to be funny. She's really good, but she's also really horny. And I guess her most popular book, the one that made her famous, is called Love Theoretically. I guess a lot of her characters are women who are in STEM, you know, like scientists. But it was originally a fan fiction of Kylo Ren and Rey. And that's why they look like them on the book cover. They did release a new cover, but here, look at this one. The original book cover is on Goodreads. You can tell it's Kylo Ren and Rey.
Oh,
I kind of have to read it.
I can't unsee it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Right? So I like these things. I don't take them super seriously. I enjoyed the Fourth Ring and mostly like the dragons. Got to finish those. You like those though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it for all my books. Do you guys have any other books you guys want to talk about?
I have a few that that you already mentioned.
Yeah.
Heather, do you have any that you want to talk about first?
No, just Hunger Games, pretty much.
Want to talk about Hunger Games? I read Sunrise and the Reaping. Oh wait, we didn't even talk about Sunrise and the Reaping. Yeah, I thought it was good.
It was a Goodreads young adult winner.
I still haven't read it yet.
It's really good. I put it off because I was like, how exciting can it be? I already know how it ends. Like, that's why I didn't want to read it. But the characters are really good, and it does have a lot of surprising twists in it, and I absolutely loved it. So I 100% recommend it. I gave it 5 stars, which just like 1 stars. And Heather's told me that Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is good. That's the only one I haven't read. So I'm going to try to read that before the movie.
You have to go into it with the right mindset. I feel like I'm the outlier. I gave it a 4, and it had a lot of American Psycho vibes to me, in that President Snow, she does not make him a sympathetic villain. She makes him evil, and you know that from page 1. So, and then it's the beginning of the Hunger Games. So you just have to go into it knowing that he's a bastard man, and I was unwell reading it.
Sounds good. Hey, Joseph, the horror guy.
Hate him more.
Guys, Joseph's here. Say hi to Joseph.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey, Joseph.
That's a cool hat.
Said it was boring. It is long.
It's longer than the other ones.
But yeah, it's really good. It just explains the way he is, and he's just a psychopath, sociopath.
Yeah, I gotta read that. I enjoyed revisiting, because I read the Hunger Games and I love those, But this time I listened to the audiobooks, which are read by Tatiana Maslany, and they were really good. And I appreciated Mockingjay a lot more this time around. The first time I read it, I was so pissed. I hated it. But I appreciate it more. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I've watched a lot of videos explaining it and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm not mad anymore. I can appreciate it more. And I actually gave it like 4 stars. It's really good. It's just, I don't like it as much as the other two, whereas the other two were like addictive and so good and hold up. I just don't like the way Mockingjay makes me feel, but it's about war and it shouldn't make me feel in a happy way, I guess. So I admit it's very good, but the reread was better.
Mockingjay spent a lot, like with the Hunger Games and Catching Fire, those books they went to different locations. Mockingjay spends a lot of time in District 13, so I could see why some people would think that book is boring. I personally thought it was such a fucking sad and beautiful conclusion to the series at that time. I thought it was amazing. I gave upon this reread, I gave all 3 books 5 stars. I love them.
For me, it was the death of a certain character. I was like, really? What the frick was the point? And I think I chucked the book at the wall and I was really pissed off. And then I went and luckily the book wasn't damaged. And I was like, you know what? I'm just mad at you and we're not talking right now. And then eventually at the end of the week, I finished reading it, but I was really mad. But yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't really get it the first time. I was just kind of pissed off. But no.
I think I was more upset about another character dying than the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I also wasn't crazy about the ending and stuff, but considering how it's really all supposed to be about like war and stuff, like I was like, oh hey, no, they make good points. But yeah, the first one, it just felt more science fiction-y, and this one is a lot more real. It feels like a war novel, and that's not really what I signed up for. So I'm still never going to give it 5 stars as opposed to the other 2 that I love Catching Fire. But yeah, if you go into it going, okay, this is a book about war and it's not fun, even though the first 2 were also, I guess, about that, but fun, because the games, I think, make it interesting and stuff. And there's no game in this one.
There's no games in this one. Yeah.
I'd say like the last, like when they're going through the Capitol at the end, that's kind of like that version of the new Hunger Games.
Yeah,
in a way, because they have like all like because the city is like inlaid with like booby traps or what they call
like mutts.
Well, not mutts, but like these things like pots. That's what they call them. They're like pots that trigger like these booby traps that like take out like the rebels. Yeah, essentially.
I agree. And the other thing, too, that made me really hate this book is I loved PETA. I loved how even though there was this like world of darkness, PETA was this light, you know? And I think truly, in my experience in life, the people I admire the most are not like the ones that we're told, like you're told that somebody who's got a grizzled exterior, like they're tough because they've seen things. But there are a lot of people who somehow manage to hold on to their light despite going through hell and back. And PETA was that. Yeah. He still had a good heart. He still could care about people. He wasn't jaded or broken. And so I love him as a character. And then they very quickly made him the opposite of that in Mockingjay. For me, that was just heartbreaking.
Because they put
I know.
They put like the tracker jacker in him. So that made him like
I know why. I just hated that she made the choice. Now knowing what her point is about war and how nobody comes out of it okay and how she couldn't have given it a happy ending, like I said, I appreciate it now. When I first read it, that was just, it felt like a betrayal.
It's understandable. Honestly.
It's the things we love most that are the greatest weakness, which comes back around in Songbirds and
like,
Snakes.
If they made a sequel to Project Hail Mary where Rocky was a villain, I would be like, why? Why are you ripping out my heart and showing it to me like we're in freaking Kali Ma Temple of Doom? Why? What did I do to you? That's how I felt about Rocky J. Like, oh my God. That's awesome.
It wouldn't have been as effective, though, if anybody else was affected by the tracker jackers. It was the fact that it was PETA.
I think it was just like personally when I was like reading Mockingjay, I kind of expected if no one actually died in the third book, it wouldn't like it wouldn't really feel as impactful or as meaningful because there were characters that you loved, or at least I liked, in Catching Fire and in Hunger Games, like Rue, for instance.
Yeah.
Like they
Rue's hard.
they died. They were shocking in the first two books, and I knew that Suzanne Collins was gonna like pull this like, I'm gonna be sneaky and like I'm gonna kill off some of these characters that you grew to love, and I'm just gonna take them out, and you're gonna have to suffer. So have fun with that.
My first read of it was essentially like, okay, you have Prim, who is just innocent and light, and that is Katniss's whole reason, and you're gonna kill her in the stupidest way possible, and then you take away Peeta too, who's the other light, and I was just like, why? I thought about it from a reader's point of view, like, why are you doing this to the readers? What is wrong with you? And then I thought about it, what it really is, this whole book, because I have to bring everything back to Buffy, because I'm me. There's a moment at the end of Buffy season 2 where Angel, who's lost his soul, he goes to her, he's like, you take away your friends, you take away your family, you take away all these things, what do you have left? And he basically telling her, you have nothing, you don't have your friends, you don't have anybody. And then she grabs the sword and says, me. And I think that's the whole point of this book. They took away Peeta, they took away Prim, her whole reason for being, and when you take away everything, is there a reason to keep fighting? In this book, I think ultimately says, yes, there is. There's still you. There's still a reason to keep fighting, even after you've lost everything. And maybe you haven't lost it entirely. So the second time I read it, I was seeing it more.
Keep fighting, just keep fighting.
So the second time I read it a lot more hopeful, but it just broke my heart the first time. And I was too angry to see past that, to see what she was trying to say. So I guess that's what I was trying to say, Brandon, when sometimes people say you just don't get it. Like in my case, yeah, I didn't get it. I was too hurt as a reader to see what she was trying to say. And the second time through, I did appreciate it. And I actually do really like this book now. It's beautifully written, but I couldn't see past that the first time I read it.
Yeah, take that, Stranger Things, season 5.
I haven't seen it yet, and I got a job at Netflix. I'm like, going to get fired probably.
The ending, okay. Sorry,
Don't tell me.
I will say.
I've heard everyone hates it.
I'm not gonna. I won't say anything. I won't say anything about Stranger Things. I promise. This is from Mockingjay. I will say, reading the end
20th.
again, not the very end, but like the portion of the book where they have to like basically imprison Katniss after the actual the storming of the Capitol. Sorry that hits so close to home.
Yeah.
When she's like locked up and she actually wants to like commit suicide, that was like a hard part of the book to read. Even as like reading it now, because I haven't read these books since I think I've read these books since 2014. So I'm reading them so I read them with fresh eyes, and I'm just like noticing things I haven't noticed when I read them in high school and when the movies came out. And I want to rewatch the movies before the new one comes out at the end of this year. But that scene was just so damaging to read. I was
Honestly,
like, oh my gosh, because I've been in that dark place before.
Speaking of like that dark place, because that's what Mark and Jay's about. I just wasn't ready for that because I feel like in a lot of ways, I don't feel like she set me up for that properly with Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Yes, Magda died. Yes, Rue died, but I knew in a game where kids are killing kids, some kids I like are going to die. I just knew that was going to happen. I just didn't think she was going to lose everything. And then I realized, that's what it's supposed to all be about. Sunrise and the Reaping, I walked into it knowing everybody in Haymitch's life is going to die. I'm like, try to make me cry again, Susan Collins. Go ahead. She did. Anyway, but what's really funny is I knew that, and I knew a lot of people said it broke them and stuff, but the ending of it has a little coda, and I know they're going to put it in the movie, or at least I think they will, because the actors are cast, the actors who play Katniss and Peeta are cast in the film. But at the end of it, there's a little coda, because again, we already know from the other books, even if you haven't read it, that Haymitch loses everything. They take everything away from him. That's why he's a drunk. He was this person who had love in his life and who was optimistic and saw the best in people, and they broke him. And now he's an alcoholic. But at the end of it, he has this little moment with Katniss and Peeta in present day, and you see how it's hard, and he's hurting every single day. He does not forget the people he's lost, but he has love in his life, and it's just a little bit every day, just getting up, getting dressed, appreciating the people you have around. And he even thinks he doesn't have a whole lot of time left because he's just been an alcoholic his whole life. His body's shit, but he's found some small amount of peace, and that, I don't know, that warmed my heart. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
he's
about.
part of the bigger picture. Like, he was
Yeah.
not able to change things at that point in time, but he was part of it that led up to Katniss.
Like, you know how sometimes people make art out of broken mirror pieces? I feel like that's what they are at the end. They're all broken, but they've taken their broken pieces and they've put them together to make a new whole. And it's beautiful. The broken pieces of Peeta, Katniss, and Haymitch. Like, they have each other. And it made me feel less like shot in the heart than Mockingjay, where I'm like, how is this going to be okay? This is not okay. So, yeah. Joseph, the horror guy, he really loves Stranger Things. I'm going to see it, my dude. I'm slow with TV shows. It's nothing against the shows. I need to watch Welcome to Derry too. But I'm gonna binge it, and dude, I will let you know what I think. And yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So if you haven't seen it either, then we should see it, and then message me on my social medias, and we'll discuss. We could binge watch it together, buddy.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what he says. So, dude, we've been on a ride. Brandon, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? Because I'm not in a big hurry. I mean, I know we've been over 3 hours because this is what happens when Heather and I hang out. And also, Brandon's late a lot. So there's that. We tease because we love.
How do we feel about the Goodreads Choice Awards?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
I voted for When the Wolf Comes Home for the horror, but I do have a bone to pick with Goodreads because I feel like the mystery thriller section should be separated. And why the fuck was Frida McFadden on there 3 times?
That's the thing, and that's what's also frustrating is I feel like
Frida McFadden sometimes, but why is one author taking up 3 spots?
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's because they do it by popularity. And that's the other thing that frustrates me. The only person I've ever seen beat out Stephen King for a win has been Grady Hendrix, which well-deserved. I think he deserved his win. But there was a lot of other really good books. And a lot of times they put these big name authors down. And I feel like sometimes people don't even read the book. They just wrote because they recognize Stephen King. Which is frustrating the way they do it. But also a lot of their nominees, there were some other really popular books that I know a lot of people read that didn't make it on there. Like, the Dungeon Crawler Carl books are making a huge impact right now, and they weren't anywhere on there. And I know a lot of people read those. But yeah, they also picked some smaller ones too, where you're like, why the heck is that nominated? It was a really weird selection. Really weird.
Yeah. Because they made a whole romantasy category.
Phantasma?
Like they have
Phantasma.
I haven't read that one yet.
I mean, it's fine. It's a popcorn book. It's a good time. Danny even read the sequel, which I haven't. But best book of the year? No, dog. No. That's going to be a no for me.
No.
So, yeah, a lot of the nominees I thought weren't very good. And a lot of them I hadn't read either. Like you, I had gone through a reading slump. And the last couple years, last year was the most books I've ever read in my life, except for maybe when I was a kid and didn't log them. And so I was so excited because I also primarily read horror. And I thought, oh, I'm going to be ready for the Goodreads thing. Maybe not for all the categories, but definitely for the horror one. And a lot of the books that I thought were really good didn't even show up.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm going to go look at those freaking nominees right now. Get mad about it.
I think on the short list, the top 10, I only read like 3 or 4. Because I usually do pretty well in the horror and I do pretty well in mystery thriller. Just because a lot of those horror books that are very heavy, I'll usually pepper in a Kindle Unlimited, like a cozy mystery or a thriller that's shorter, just as a palate cleanser. Because I read The Reformatory and it was really heavy, and I read
My mom says
and it
that's
was
good.
really heavy. Oh, it was so good.
Nice.
But like, okay, The Bewitching, that was not a good book. I gave it 2 stars. I know a lot of people said it was decent.
Oh,
It was fine, but it was not good. It was definitely not the
I was
best book
actually,
of the year. And it got
I was
nominated.
actually, sorry,
No, you're fine.
I, sorry, I said that I was actually looking up that reviews on The Bewitching because I was kind of planning on reading it because I got it from my library, and I'm wondering, is this going to be like a book that is this like going to be worth my time?
Hi,
So I was looking
Joseph.
it up, and I see like a lot of like 2, 3 stars on it, and I was just like, I don't know. And
It
I trust you what you say, and like you guys you both as well, what you think about like books in general.
I
I'm just
feel
like,
like a
okay,
lot of
has to be
authors,
like,
if they write something, it's going to be on there, and it's not always well deserved. Sylvia Moreno Garcia is a fantastic author, and she's written great stuff in the past. This, she phoned it in. If you've read, there's a lot of witch books. I've read at least 2 other witch books that take place in 3 different time periods about 3 different women who practice witchcraft, and it all ties together to solve a mystery. It's completely just, it's like, I've already read this book before. Why are you wasting my time? You are better than this. It's well written. She's talented, but that shouldn't be enough to make it one of the best books of the year. There's a lot of books this year that were really good.
yeah, I've only read one book by her, and it was Mexican Gothic.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I liked it enough. I have like Silver Nitrate on my shelf. I want to read that one.
Yeah, Silver
Um,
Nitrate's good and it's really
yeah,
original, but this was just completely unoriginal. Like, I was just like, come on, this was.
mm,
I got it from NetGalley, so I read the whole thing, and I was just like, I had to like power through. It was just kind of boring.
I I I don't want to read books that are just like mediocre, or I'm just gonna get like 3 stars to, because I want to read books that actually like get me excited for reading, not put me back into a reading slump again.
Yeah. So there's a lot of books I thought that were really good and exciting, but I feel like the Goodreads Choice Awards is not a good place to find like maybe what was the best books of the year you missed. It's just basically the most popular books. And already there's a lot of
Yeah.
people who have made videos on YouTube about the problems with book talk. Like a lot of those people, like they found like a lot of those people in their reviews will tell you, oh, I just skim through the book. Or I just read the dialogue. How do you read a book and only read the dialogue? And that's how books like Fourth Wing and stuff are doing so well, because they have like all these like, they're just trying to hop on a trend. And it's not really about
Mm.
reading and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's entertaining, just like I find Twilight entertaining. But I'm not gonna, say that, yes, Washington's Treasure is one of the best books of all time. It's a fun book. It's a good time, but it's not great literature. So
The Eclipse was rough.
Eclipse was the first one. I loved the first 2. I've read them, but Eclipse, even the first time I read it, I was like, well, this is really boring. And then I didn't like Breaking Dawn, but I still
I
do
like
I'm
love.
trying to read it. I've read
I like
Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse,
Yeah,
and
you
then
guys
I
read
had
them
to
all.
take a break.
I
Well,
liked I
Eclipse,
liked
I got mad at Charlie, and I didn't think I ever would get mad at Charlie
He's different in the
because
books.
he was defending Jacob
Uh
when
huh.
Bella punched him and broke her hand. And
He's
he's like,
also
"What'd you
gone all the
do?"
time.
He's like, "Oh, I tried to kiss her." And he says, "Ha ha ha, good for you." Sir, this man
Yes.
just assaulted your daughter and you said good for
He
you.
also
And
makes his
then
daughter cook him dinner and stuff too. He's not like Charlie in
yes.
the movies. He's a different
No, and
character.
then she was talking about how when Jacob was kissing her, she couldn't pull away because he was too
He's too
strong. That
strong.
she was just standing there, and I'll just let it happen. And I'm like, that's rapey, and
Yeah.
I don't like it. Ugh.
I didn't like it
So
either. And it sucks because originally it's fucked up. Jacob's named after her brother. She never wanted there to be a love triangle. Originally, all of this happened in one book. In the original version, Bella becomes a vampire at the end. But she never wanted there to be a love triangle. She wasn't even sure how there could be like a sequel. And then the publishers were like, okay, you got to make it into a series. And they're like, we want you to make a love triangle with this Jacob guy. But it doesn't work because Bella's clear from the very beginning. She only loves Edward. She's like obsessed with Edward, which there's problems with that because I think a lot of it's chemical because he's meant to be like that, to draw people in. She's like a drug addict. There's a lot of problems with it. But she doesn't have feelings for Jacob. He just tries to nice guy her to death.
mm-hmm.
Oh no, his phone died. It's okay, Brandon. We're like wrapping up. So here's one thing I do like that Goodreads is doing. What I do like is the achievements. The achievements have helped me break out of what I normally
Yes.
read. So like I'm
Same.
reading The Handmaid's Tale, which I've always wanted to read, but I really like if you gamify something, I will come. Like I will be there. You know?
Yeah.
So when there's an achievement, I'm like, oh, I have to get that. Like I got all the ones last year and I really like it because sometimes it's challenging for me to find a book on there that I want to read. And so like I read The Nickel Boys, which I haven't read The Reformatory, but it's about the same thing. And it was a really good book. And I'm glad I never would have read that otherwise. So I do love the Goodreads achievements. They're a little hard to find though. So you have to go to your regular reading challenge and then you have to look at show more awards and then you can find them all in case anyone wonders what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then the ones on Goodreads have challenges, but then if you have Kindle Unlimited, it has different challenges on there too.
Yeah, I haven't done those
I'm
ones.
like, no.
I can only handle so much, but I do like the Goodreads ones, and I get excited like when one of the mystery ones gets revealed and stuff. And yeah, it helps me to kind of narrow down my focus because my TBR is like super long, and it helps me to focus a little bit better. So yeah, I really
I
like.
like a good theme too. So
Yeah,
like February is romance and
yeah.
like Black History Month. So they have a lot of categories where I wouldn't normally choose that myself.
That's how I found like Weight of Blood and stuff. Because a lot of times I'm like, I have a whole process because I do spreadsheets for anything I care about. So I will go through and I will look at the average rating and then I will go and see like, did most people give it a 5 or did most people give it a 4, that kind of thing. And then I will look and see like if you or Brandon or my mom or anybody, what did they rate it? Like if you guys gave it like a 5, I'm like, okay, I gotta check that out. Because like, you know, and then I narrow it down. But I enjoy it. It's really fun for me, those achievements. So yeah, it's cool. And this year I went a step further and I actually made a TBR for the year because I know I'm definitely maybe I'll read. I'm going to read around 120 something books. I can't see myself reading like 500 books. So it helps me to narrow it down. And so I have a list and it's not full yet, but it's like, okay, this is what I plan to read this year to like really focus in on it. Be more, like you said, more intentional with my reading. So
Yeah. I'm gonna reread books too that I
yeah.
really like July, because Sunrise of the Reaping, you find out the Hunger Games are set on July 4th. I want to reread all 5 of those before the movie comes out in November.
I've been rereading the Carpe Demon series, and that's been really fun to
Mm-hmm.
revisit, and they still hold up. And then I want to reread the Queen Betsy series. And then I want to reread before the new book comes out in May, the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, because I love those, and there's a new book coming out, and I'm so stoked.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish series. Somehow I used to read just standalone books, and somehow I'm in the middle of mini series. So, like Twilight, I got Breaking Dawn and Midnight Sun, and then I'm done with that. The
Midnight Sun's fun.
Naturals. Yeah, it sounds fun.
That one's a lot of fun. And actually, I feel like the strongest book would have been if she mixed the two, because we'd be scared for Bella because we know what she doesn't know. Like knowing how he thinks about her, I am more scared for Bella now. And I wish when she originally wrote it, she had chapters from Edward's point of view, like had consciously decided, okay, who is the most interesting person to tell this chapter by? I think it just would have made it so much better, or even to use multiple perspectives, like put it in third person would have actually been really good.
Mm-hmm.
I also like there's just other little tweaks and stuff I would make to it, but I do really love it. Like I think her writing is really easy to read and I enjoy the characters and stuff. There's just some things like I think him being in high school is stupid. So
Yeah.
there's one part where he's kind of in the woods and he's watching her reading in her backyard. And because she lives up against the forest and he hunts in the forest, I think a better way to have done that book would be he's hunting and she's out there to take a walk and read. And she's like, and he's like, you need to go, you know, because he's got to hunt. And she'd be like, no, my house is there and I'm reading here. You go. You know, I think that would have been really, really cute and a fun way for them to meet. And then she keeps seeing him in the woods behind her house and she thinks it's creepy. And then you find out that, you know, he's a vampire. He's like, you know, and so I think that if I had to tweak it myself, that would be one of the things I did. The other thing too is you don't find about the nomadic vampires until way later. In the movie, they're introduced pretty early on. But I think they should, like in the book, have been introduced to if that's going to be your big finale. And I think she should have been more she should have had more thoughts about it. Like, okay, A, is Edward doing it? And if Edward's doing it, do I care? And if I don't care, what does that say about me? Or is there something wrong with me? Is he doing something chemical to me to where I don't care? Because normally I would care. That should have been like chapters of introspection, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're that hard up over a guy, like what does that even say about you? But she's supposed to be really smart and she doesn't have these thoughts at all. She doesn't question it either, which is why ultimately I feel like it's his vamp like scent and everything that's kind of drugged her. And it makes me kind of sad for her. I'm ultimately team college. I feel like if both those guys loved her because she was smart and academic, they should have been like, you know what? You're going to go to college and you're going to get your degree and you're going to date other people and you're going to go have fun. And I don't want to see it because I love you, but I want you to have a full life. And if after 4 years of you living your life, I will check on you, you need to live your life. You still really want this after whatever, you know, if chemical thing has faded and stuff, if she still loves him, then he'll be there. And, you know, I think that would have been so much better. But I feel like, I don't know. It's got problems. I know it's got problems, but it's still the treasure of Washington State.
It's still the treasure of Washington. Have you read any of the Sookie Stackhouse books?
Yes, and I love
Blood?
those. I haven't finished those though.
I'm in the middle of rewatching True Blood because I watched it when it first came out, and so I'm on season 5, which is the quality has dropped off. Seasons 1 through 4 were great.
I own all of them, and we were watching them, and I never finished it. So I own the whole series on Blu-ray, but I need to actually finish watching them. But I'm telling you, TV series is where I get way behind on stuff. I'm like the only person in the world who hasn't seen Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, and it's nothing personal. I take a really long time to get around to watching TV shows. So by the time I finally do, people were like, oh, it's not worth it. The ending sucks. I'm like, well, I was going to, I swear. It's hard. I'm finally watching Dexter. Finally watching Dexter.
What season are you on?
I just started season 3.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It probably also hurts that I've rewatched Buffy multiple times. Like,
me too.
An embarrassing amount. Okay, have you done this? Have you watched it backwards? Because I have. It actually ends in a happier way. Like less stuff is taken. So yeah, I just to have a different experience of it, or I'll have like a theme sitting. Like I'm like, I want to watch all the like Buffy episodes today. Or I'm going to watch like my 3 favorite ones, or I don't know,
well,
my
like
favorite Willow ones.
February, so I'm like, oh, February 25th coming up. It's Faith wakes up from a coma day. Gotta watch that.
Oh, that's so fun. Buffy's birthday's in January too. I can't remember what day. Yeah,
the 19th, because she's a Capricorn on the cusp of Aquarius.
Though, in like the
Riley.
very first episode, it's like May 5th, but they changed it later on, and she has an official birthday. We'll just let that go. But did you know she was born in 1981, the same as me?
I know.
What? I always loved that.
So she would have been a senior when I was a freshman, because I'm 85.
I would have too.
So we would have been in high school together.
Dude, I would have looked out for you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was weird, so it's cool. Dude, that was super fun. We've talked for an hour and a half. I'm going to wrap it up. I do want to talk to you, though, in the video room.
Okay.
Do you have anything you want to say before I go, or we wrap it up? Anything, anybody in the chat you want to say hi to? Anything like that?
I will go on Goodreads and I will look up your mom and like all of her stuff and comment, because
Thank you.
I don't get a lot of her feed either, and I think it's the server. Goodreads be messing up a lot.
She's one of I have her, like, certain people listed as my top friends, and I had to go and search for her reviews. So
I don't have many friends on there. I'm following a lot of people, but I have like 10 friends. So, but yes, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
And you guys can subscribe. It's linked. It's pinned in the chat. It's in the description down below to the We Are the Weirdos book club. They do a stream every month, and they're also on Fable now. So definitely check that out, where her and Brandon talk about weird books. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can follow her on Instagram, Horrorhead Heather, right?
Yes.
And I'll read one more comment before we head out. From Kevin, who is one of the channel members, by the way.
Yay, Kevin.
So thank you for that. Next week, by the way, we're doing a movie night of Return of the Living Dead 3. It's going to be super fun. But he says, I've been reading a lot of graphic novels this month, like R.L. Stein stuff of Nightmares, Something's Killing the Children, and rereading The Crow and The Last Ronin. The Last Ronin's so good. I love graphic novels. Those are awesome. I'm reading the R.L. Stein Cheerleader Fear Street books. And Brandon says, great hanging out with you. It's fun hanging out with you. I'm sorry we broke your phone.
I know.
But we talked for forever. So
it was Mercury in retrograde.
It really is. And I've had to change my ending on here because it used to be Blessed Be. And then I watched Handmaid's Tale and it's
I just
ruined
saw that.
it. It's ruined it. I used to always think of like the craft and stuff, which obviously you guys appreciate too, because my whole
Leave the
theme,
Lord open.
the whole theme on this channel is witchy stuff. So I was like, naturally, it should be Blessed Be.
Oh, no.
So Mummy B has suggested Bloody Blessings. Are we liking that? We not liking it?
Bloody blessings.
Oh, she also suggested Bloody Bee. Do you have any have anything to suggest?
I like Blessed Be.
Do we just stick with Blessed Bee and just be like,
I think so.
it's creepy, but it works?
I've watched The Handmaid's Tale, and I've never put that together until just now.
And Handmaid's Tale. All right. Well, then today we will stick with Blessed Be. I'm workshopping some stuff.
Take it back.
I'm taking it back.
Take it
All
back.
right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mummy B Movie and Joseph the Horror Guy and Brandon and my guest Heather and Kevin in the chat. And until we meet again, you hit them with it.
Blessed Be.